Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages. And it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
I am Josh Stallings alongside Jeff Roberts once again on WQEL 92.7 FM and streaming live online on the OH Report. We had a game last night. We are back. It's Friday Night Lights. We open up week number 1 last night with the Winford Royals and the Galleon Tigers. Back here again at Upper Sandusky as the Rams hosting non-conference Galleon Northmor. And Jeff, this is a non-conference game, but one that should be very highly contested. You got one of the best teams on the N10 last year. Northmor struggled a little bit in the KMAC, but in terms of size and in terms of how they relate to the area, this is a very talented Northmor team.
Oh, and both of these teams bring back a lot of really key high-level football players. Friendly to Northmor, but still at the end of the season, both of these teams ended the year last year at 5-6, and it's going to be about who fills those gaps, who brings those people back, who improved upon last year's performance.
What you just said is key. What they bring back, and that is the Upper Sandusky offense to a T. They bring back Caden Woolman, All-Ohio passer, one of the best in the area. He struggled. He's a gunslinger.
Yeah.
You know, he is a high school level Brett Favre. He's going to take a chance, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But that guy wants to let it fly. He's got a few guys on the outside to help him out. He's got Gavin Fry coming back. He is a possession receiver. Mm-hmm. He's high output, or excuse me, high confidence level on the close short routes, the out routes, the in routes, the deeps or the crossing routes, slants. Yeah. But he's not a guy that you want to take downfield. He's a third down possession receiver.
Well, you know, Gavin Fry is fantastic. I mean, he caught almost 60 passes last year, but he only averaged less than 9 yards a reception. So they were mostly short receptions that he's not breaking away. That's what you bring back Ethan Hill for. I mean, obviously they lost Evan Hill to graduation, but Ethan Hill a year ago had 42 catches and almost 20 yards receiving per catch. So, I mean, that is, a 1-2 punch. You got your short guy, possession receiver, and the guy who can explode and get open deep. And it does cause problems for defenses because you can't just bring everybody up short. You can't drop everybody back deep because not only does your quarterback have the ability to get the ball wherever it needs to, if he, doesn't find anybody open, he'll just run around a little bit and find it that way.
And this is a fan base who last year they didn't really know what to expect. What were we going to get out of Holman and those skill guys? And they competed in the N10, gave a lot of teams a run for their money, maybe lost some games they shouldn't have lost. Lost to Mohawk last year, gave Crawford a run, gave Carey a run.
Yep.
But this is
Crawford,
the
actually.
Yeah, beat Crawford won. This is the year they got to put it all together.
It was interesting. Last year, at the beginning of the year, about 5 weeks into the year, I was talking to some of the coaching staff from Upper Sandusky, and at the time they were like 2-3, and they literally they looked me in the face and totally meant it when they said we should be 5-0 right now, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And they were like, "Yes." They're like, "We're just leaving things on the field. We should be beating these teams. We are way better than this." In the back half of the year, they go out, they beat Crawford, like you said. They almost take out Carey. But again, but they get beat down pretty badly by Mohawk. So it was a really strange up and down season for them. And even when they got to the playoffs, they got a Clear Fork team that everybody knew was really good. They played with them and hung with them tight in the first half. And it was like, okay, they can play with this team. And then it kind of unraveled a little bit in the second. But, they had some injuries and some other issues that kind of played into it. If this is the season they bring it all together and they put it all together, this Upper Sandusky team is going to be at the top of the N10. And it's going to work out really well in terms of the N10 this year, because think about the two top teams over the last couple of years with Carey and Crawford. Carey had been kind of winning. They win the state title 2 years ago. Crawford felt like, man, we were right there. We should have beat them. We just didn't. Then last year in the regular season, Crawford loses in a tight game to Carey. Felt like they should have beat him then. And then they get the rematch of the playoffs, and they do beat them. So this is two teams that are fighting back and forth, and they're focused on each other. You know darn well Carey and Crawford are circling each other on the calendar going, we got to win that game. And that brings the opportunity for the third team to kind of sneak in. And that's where Upper Sandusky is looking at going, let them focus on each other, and then we're going to sneak in and try to beat both of them. And then all of a sudden we take the league. That's where they're at, and that's where their mentality is this year.
And if you're Upper Sandusky, you got to believe that you got the biggest roster, and you have the most talented roster. You have the most kids to pick from. You're bigger, and you got to believe that. That's part about football. You got to believe that you're better. When you take the snap, I'm better than you. It doesn't matter if defense, offense, special teams, bigger, smaller. I got to believe I'm better than you, and that's what it takes, whether you are bigger or not.
Absolutely.
That's the deciding factor. Are you going to accept a loss, or are you going to be a dog?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think one of the biggest things that I saw differently out of Upper Sandusky last year, this is a team for several years. They've always had athletes, and they can always put up points. But honestly, I always thought they were lacking a toughness quality. Last year, I didn't see a lack of toughness. They would come out and hit people. And you could see teams walking away from the Upper Sandusky game being like, it didn't feel good playing them. And that was the first time I've seen that in a very long time, and a lot of those guys are back. So, honestly, it's going to be interesting to see what the Rams can end up putting together this year, and if they are maintaining that mentality, just what you're talking about, that they think the future is bright, and we're taking this league this year. We think we got the best quarterback. We think we got one of the best receivers. We think we got some great linemen, some good defensive players, and we feel like this is our season. It starts tonight against Northmor.
We've talked Upper. When we come back, we will talk the Northmor Golden Knights from the KMAC right after this.
Okay, 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Back here on WQEL, your home for sports in North Central Ohio, as well as the OH Report streaming live online. I'm Josh Stallings alongside Jeff Roberts for what is week number 1 of high school football in North Central Ohio. We had game last night, Winford and Galleon, We are back on the field tonight, Upper Sandusky and Northmor, another non-conference matchup between the N10 and the KMAC. We talked Upper, let's talk to Northmor offense. They returned an all-Ohio quarterback in A.J. Bauer. They were 5-6 last season, 2-5 in the conference. So they struggled a little bit in the KMAC. They played some teams a little bit more their size in the non-con schedule, as well as, of course, in the playoffs, and they had a little bit more success. Northmor was phenomenal a few years ago. They're still trying to keep that up. What do we need to see out of All-Ohio A.J. Bauer tonight?
Well, part of it what happened Northmor last year is they lost an amazing running back early in the season to injury, and they ended up having to kind of adjust their offense. They went from going into the season thinking, we're going to be a power running game, and we saw the keys of victory on our OH Report feed. That was like, be physical up front. That was something that they really wanted to do a year ago. Instead, they basically were like, all right, sorry, sophomore A.J. Bauer, you're going to start throwing the football around, and he did. He did a really nice job, put up some good numbers. Hunter Falk is a heck of a good receiver. He's going to be a great target for them. It really is going to be an interesting battle between two teams that mirror each other. Very good quarterbacks, very good receivers. Who does a better job defending here tonight?
Yeah, you have two coaches that really like their skill guys. Jackson Wanger, Hunter Falk, and Upper Sandusky, they like Fry in the backfield as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup how they combat each other offensively and defensively, because those are going to be the same guys going against each other on either side of the ball. We are getting set for the kickoff here from Upper Sandusky High School, the Northmor Golden Knights and the Upper Sandusky Rams coming up on WQEL and the OH Report.
No. They got rid of that.
OH report. Northmor won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so Upper Sandusky will be receiving, and they will head north. Back deep for the Rams. Number 13, Max Martinez. He is joined by a couple up men. Number 3, that is Caden Holman. No, excuse me, that's number 2, Damon Ward. But a deep kick is going to go to the deep man. That's Martinez. Starts in the middle of the field. Martinez approaches the 25 and knocked down at the 24-yard line.
Came out.
Northmor saying the ball is loose.
I thought it
Punched up.
They got it.
They signaled. Northmor gets a turnover in the first play of the game. The Golden Knights showing up, ready to go.
Yep, and again, just a prime way to tackle. And you can see, the coaches over on the sideline, they are very excited about the way that came out. But it's exactly how you tackle. You lower the shoulder. We talked about this yesterday. You either can get the helmet on the ball, you get a shoulder pad on the ball, or you get a hand on the ball. One way or the other, there is a very good chance if you hit it cleanly, you might end up popping it loose. And now Upper Sandusky is defending deep in their own territory.
So Northmor gets exactly what they wanted, an extra possession. Start with the football. They're going to run it left side. Going with it that's going to be Carson Campbell. Campbell, a sophomore, 5'10", 150 pounds. Campbell, not a lot to do there. Maybe a gain of a yard.
The interesting aspect about Northmor is that a year ago, when their running back got hurt, it was Paul Kramer and Caleb Schnauer who kind of came in, ran for about a combined 500 yards in the back half of that season. But not seeing him out there to start.
Shotgun formation. Bauer's going to run with it.
Yep.
Keeps it himself. Scrambles close to the 20. Knock him down at the 22-yard line. A gang tackle by the Rams. In there is number 2, Damon Ward. So Northmor trying to grind it out here, just establish the box. And that's going to be key against Upper Sandusky. They want to air it out on offensively. They have a lot of faith in their front 7. So if you can establish and beat them up front on both sides of the ball, Northmor is going to get what they want. Trips left. Bauer wants to throw it. As it's set, wants to throw the slant route high. They're going to get a flag.
Yep. I think the ball was actually thrown pretty behind the receiver, so it wasn't really necessary. But I think they saw it. They gave it a push to the receiver and didn't allow him to adjust to the ball. So that one's going to go against Upper on a first down now for Northmor. Second mistake of the game for the Rams, and it's going to help the Golden Knights get deeper into their territory. Similar to the Crawford uniforms, these Northmor jerseys are a little tough to see in the sunlight with the yellow numbers on the white uniforms, but on the screen it's clear as well. Absolutely. Looks great here.
Number 5. Half distance to go. He's on the play.
To the left, we're going to have a wing to the right side. He's in the gun. Now he's going to motion a man out left side. 1st and 10. Empty backfield, shotgun. Fakes the handoff. No, he's going to give it to him on the end around. Little counter play, and that is Caleb Schumer. Schumer is going to take it to the house, but a flag comes in late. Yep. Got it. 12-yard run right there, doing a great job on simple end around. Very easy run. In the area of a hold, Jeff. Yeah. I don't know if that was a defender grabbing the face mask early on or if it was a hold. And it was downfield. It was 10 yards downfield. But Northmore's walking back like they know it's against them. So that's going to take the points off the board. And it actually kind of works out because it will back up Upper a little bit. It was a block in the back, actually. But it wasn't at the line of scrimmage. It was probably 10 yards downfield. So the yardage, a little bit more, actually. So it ends up being a net negative 2 yards or so. Could have been a lot worse for Northmor. But still, not something that the coaching staff for the Golden Knights are going to be happy with. Junior quarterback A.J. Bauer will set him up for a 1st and 12. Has a guy on his right hip, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, and that is a false start. Or no, excuse me, offside. Yeah, they little hard count right there. Interior line for Upper jumps off. So right back. Yep. And they'll actually get a little. I mean, obviously it's not as good for Northmor because they were just in the end zone, but still, I mean, they gave up a few yards, but that penalty back gave them more. So now they're looking at a 1st down and about 7. Ball on the 9-yard line in the gun. Guy on his hip. He's going to hand it off. Moving left side on the trap play. Flag comes in again. Man, we've seen more flags. Carson Campbell got that carry. And we've seen more flags in the first minute of this game than we did all game last night.
There's a flag on the play.
backing up once again, so there's a hold this time.
Offense.
So
Number 55, 10-yard penalty. Still
there's
first
going to be a 10-yarder. But that one, a little closer to the line of scrimmage, so it backs them up an awful lot further. Now they're at the 19-yard line.
After the penalty, Northmor will have
Golden Knights
first
with
and
a
17.
golden opportunity
Yep.
to start this ball game, forcing the fumble on the kickoff return. Great field position. They struggle now to get in the end zone. Looking at a 1st and 17.
Yeah, they're going to have to get down to about the 2-yard line to get a first down. But, I know at this point in time they're looking at end zone, not just a first down marker.
Bo Landon comes wide to the right. He's got a slot inside of him.
Another
And
penalty.
now a
Yep,
timeout.
Okay.
Northmor will take a break.
Timeout,
As Scott
Northmor.
Ambrose doesn't like what he sees. His team's been struggling. They've had a few penalties in a row. They're in the red zone. They want to get points out of it. Let's hash it out, figure it out. So we'll take a quick timeout. We're listening to WQEL 92.7 FM and streaming online on the OH Report.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Shotgun formation. His knee was on the ground when he fielded that snap. Nobody blew it dead. He handed it off to Campbell. Campbell able to get a few on that play, but I thought his knee was on the ground when he fielded that
Well, he
snap.
definitely lowered down to pick up the low snap. And he did it off one knee. The question is did he pick it up fast enough? At least the officiating crew didn't see it, if nothing else. So 2-yard gain will remain.
Northmor will rush to the line. Now they're going to shuffle the formation. 1 to the right, 2 to the left. That's the short side. He wants to throw it. Dropping back, a nice pocket across the middle. Pass is complete. 15, 16. He's down to the 10. He's at the 5-yard line, driven down. Nice tackle made there by 13, Max Martinez. Pass caught by number 2, Hunter Falk. That's the senior. And Falk will probably develop to be one of their top receivers, if not the top.
Well, he was their top receiver a year ago. I assume that they're going to go to him an awful lot again this year. Now 3rd down. That was a big play.
A little bit of a hurry
about
up.
4 now.
Once
Slow
again,
it
he's in
down.
the gun.
Yep.
Wide, 1 wide left, 2 wide right, lead
Got
blocker in
space.
front,
Oh.
and he is knocked down at the 3-yard line. A.J. Bauer had his man in front, but just didn't get the opening he wanted.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You know what? They can say that he didn't get the opening. He had the opening. He took the wrong. Like his vision was off.
Gap.
He cut right. He goes left. He's in the end zone untouched. But he tried to follow the blocker, and the blocker got stymied, and that stopped him. So now he's a yard short. And 4th and 1. They're going to go for it. Again, if he cuts left, he walks it. He can just roll into the end zone. So just vision was off on that play.
Falk's going to go wide left. He's one-on-one coverage. They're going to hand to the back, straight ahead. He is hit at the line of scrimmage. We'll see what they call. They're going to mark him short. At the 1-yard line, Campbell knocked down. No, number 4, that's Paul Kramer.
Yep. And
Another ball carrier.
But they're going to say he got it.
Oh, now they're...
Yep, they're going to say that he got the 1 yard that he needed. So maybe even
Okay, so they got the
yard and a
first
half.
down, not the touchdown.
Yes, that's correct.
They're going to hurry up again, go back to
And that's how
Kramer,
they
and Kramer is in the end zone, touchdown Northmor.
Yep. Big body just running through. Paul Kramer coming in. And, he's going to be tough to stop. 5'10", 180 yards, and one of those kids that wears the giant shoulder pads from, 1989.
Give him a neck roll.
Exactly. When he took that handoff, he just barreled right into the end zone.
Northmor with some good size to match up against Upper Sandusky. On to attempt the extra point. Snap back, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. The kick by 15, Caleb Schruner, the senior, makes it 7-0 here in the first quarter. 7:51 to go. Northmor on top of Upper.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
WQEL and streaming live online on the OH Report. Northmor able to capitalize on the turnover on the opening kickoff. They get in the end zone for 7, and now they lead at 7-0 here with 7:51 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Upper Sandusky some opportunities, a couple of mistakes that backed them up, but they were able to just cut away, and even though they were deep and had first down and long, they were able to get a little bit of yardage, got the first down, and get in the end zone.
Once again, a little bit of miscommunication by the deep men of Upper Sandusky. That ball sails in the end zone. It will be a touchback. So the Rams going to start 1st and 10 from the 20.
Yep. Like you said, I mean, they weren't communicating terribly well back there, but I'll be honest with you, it was such a deep kick that I don't know that it really was something that they probably should have made a move at anyway.
Like Northmor, that's a boom.
Absolutely.
Northmor looking like they're going to show a lot of man coverage now. One high safety. They split 2 linebackers out into the trips formation against Holman, the All-Ohioan. One of the league's top passer, one of the area's best quarterbacks. Holman's going to keep it on 1st and 10. Holman looking for running room on the left side. Gets over the 25. Call it a gain of 6. So Holman showing a little bit something different there.
Look, you've got an athlete like Caden Holman. You're going to put the ball in his hands in as many different ways as possible. It'd be silly not to run the ball with him on occasion.
They're going to hurry up. Here's doubles. Holman with the back in his back on his left hip and got him to go. Ball start. Ashton Clark, defensive lineman for Northmor, jumped across.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. We saw the penalty, the first down.
And I think if you're Upper Sandusky, you want to be as high octane, as high tempo as you can be.
Sure.
You want to keep as many teams off balance. Coming in, you got a guy with a strong arm in Holman, and then you have to respect it no matter what, whether he wants to throw it or keep it. He's going to give it this time. Ball carrier is Damon Ward. Ward goes left side in the B gap. Not a lot of room. Get him 2.
Yep, good job holding up front by Northmor. A lot of bodies kind of running into each other, and it's again kind of a stalemate. Defenders are able to slide off the blocks, get Ward down after a couple-yard pickup, and what you just said. That's what Upper's been doing even before Holman came around. It's like we're gonna maximize our many opportunities offensively as possible.
Pressure in his face. Holman lets it fly, and he's completed it to Martinez for a first down. Ball at the 47-yard line. Just stop routes, comebacks between 3 to 7 yards. Find the opening, find the comfort zone with that DB, get him to turn his hips, and as soon as he turns his hips, you turn around and expect the football, and it worked to perfection there. Holman connects on the strike.
Well, how amazing is it for Upper Sandusky to not only have an athlete like Holman, but more importantly, or just as importantly, have an offense and the coaching staff that has stayed intact. I mean, it's no new systems or anything like that. He knows exactly where he wants to go with the ball. 3-year starter is going to help you there.
2 left. He's going to go to the back. Carrying, nice stiff arm out of the backfield. Here comes Ward. After the stiff arm, knocked down, slowed him up just enough. Yep. Hit in the backfield on the stop. Number 3, Jackson Wanger.
I'll be honest with you, offensively, this has been Upper's struggle for the last several years. They can always sling it around. They can get a lot of yards in the air. And obviously they can put the ball in Holman's hands, let him run a little bit. Just a standard running game, though, they sometimes have a hard time getting that moving.
4-man front against trips to the right. Trying to spread out this Northmor defense. Holman in the empty backfield. He's got 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Holman standing at his own 39. Has the snap, 4-man rush, sets up, throws, comeback route is complete, and it's a first down. He got his man, 23, Ethan Hill. Perfect. His brother was a stud last year for the Rams, and Ethan picking up right there.
Well, he wasn't exactly a slouch either last year.
No, he was
pretty,
maybe the third option, but certainly.
I mean, he was pretty good, and you could actually see Northmor was playing way off of him. Like, they respect his speed and his ability to get beat, and he just did a nice simple curl, a little out. That was easy for Holman to recognize, dropped it right there, right in front of the first down marker.
2 stand-up ends as they bunch him up in trips. Holman going to keep it himself, scamper for 3. And even still, so you line up with a bunch trips tight to the left side of the line, and that box for Northmor is still very spread out.
Absolutely.
They have 2 stand-up ends because those ends have to respect Holman, whether he wants to throw it or run it. And you can't blitz him all the time because they have so many skill guys on the outside.
Well, it leaves all of your defensive backs to guard everybody one-on-one.
And
you know,
show me 5 DBs that can cover these 5. Holman pumps it, throws it, gonna loft it up, one-on-one coverage. E. Hill is out there. No. Incomplete into the sideline. Let him a little bit too far.
Yeah, but that's 5 receivers going out, but it's a one-man route. Like, Holman took a step back, and he never took his eye, off of Hill going deep. And that was pump fake, trying to give him a little space, and Hill even tried to give himself a little bit, a little push off, and see if he can create space, but Holman let him a little too far. Even still, great defense, running, right with him was Cohen Becker for Northmor.
Here's Upper in a pistol. Holman with a back behind him, 4:38 to go on 3rd and 8. Wants to throw it, has pressure, a little screen pass at the 40. He's got to get off that defender, and he's not going to do it. Wrapped up in the backfield was number 2, Damon Ward, and what a play by number 8 and number 11 for Northmor. That's Garrett Harvey and Ashton Clark.
Well, I got to be honest, Garrett Harvey gets all the credit in the world. He's the one who slipped the block. I mean, linebacker, all the defensive line bites on the face. They all take off after Holman. They're in the backfield. And that offensive line is on him. He's got a big body on him. He got off of him immediately. Ward now becomes a one-on-one, and he takes Ward down in that open field. It's an individual effort. Great job.
Looks like Upper going to try and bury him deep. Holman, the punter. High punt is going to be fielded at the 15.5-yard line. Could have got a little bit more leg behind that, but either way, buries him deep. So
is fair caught by Cohen Becker.
Upper Sandusky, after the fumble on the first possession, on the opening kickoff, they come up blank on the second drive, and it's back to Northmor. Northmor leading 7-0.
I want to remind everybody that we will be choosing our game MVPs for both of these teams after the game. Lewis Family McDonald's sponsoring that. We appreciate that. We'll pick somebody from Northmor, we'll pick somebody from Upper Sandusky, and the Lewis Family McDonald's will give them a gift certificate to McDonald's. And again, Lewis Family McDonald's all throughout the area, Upper Sandusky, over in Gallion as well, making it convenient for both of these guys, so we wish them the best as we go forward in the game tonight.
Northmor back on the field with All-Ohio quarterback A.J. Bauer. Bauer going to stand at his 11, send a man in motion, got a tight end right, trips to the left, wants to throw it, has a nice pocket, steps up, lets it fly. He's got a fade out there, and he beat his man, but he let him too far to the inside. He's got to get a little more air under it and put him on the back shoulder.
Yeah, Holman was out there defending on the play, and he sort of kind of let the receiver go at the end. Like I think he was like, he's not going to throw it this deep. He sort of slowed up a little bit, and the receiver was able to get away from him. And like I said, those last couple of steps there, but ball was just a little misfired by Bauer.
2 left, 1 to the right for Bauer and a pistol. Claps for it, snap on the ground, and he was down that time.
That time they got it.
Knee on the ground when he fielded that snap, and that I swear they missed that first one, but
that time they were on top.
They're on it.
Yep, and it's going to end up being about a 4 or 5 yard loss. And like I said, a low snap. That's the type of thing. Bauer's trying to make sure the ball doesn't get too far away from him, and he's going to that one knee to pick it up. And unfortunately,
both teams have a lot of urgency here. They want to get the play in, get moving.
Well, they both feel really good about their offenses and their quarterbacks. So
Bauer in the gun, going to motion the man right side to trips. Empty backfield, looks right. Now he's going to come back to the right side on the comeback route. Covered up nicely. What a play by the linebacker. He sat on that
AJ Bowers.
There was a comeback that was complete to Carson Campbell,
to number 40,
but the
Curtis
play
Turner.
made by number
Sorry,
40, that's
number
Nathan
43,
Lewis.
Carson
And Lewis
Campbell. The
now
tackle was made
hurt
out
on
of
the
bounds
sideline
by
after a
Nathan
phenomenal
Lewis.
play.
Gain of 3, 4th down and 10.
Yeah, did just a nice job of, keeping with on the
His
short route.
job.
Yeah,
He
it's
just-
just his job. It's like, I'm just going to go ahead. You can catch the ball, but I'm going to keep you in front of you. Keep the receiver in front of him. Make the tackle. Just push him out of bounds. Ends up being, barely any gain at all there, if anything. So now Northmor deep in their own territory. They're going to be punting. A punter is probably going to be
Official timeout for injury.
Injury timeout here with 2:35 to go here in the first. You're listening to WQEL 92.7 FM and streaming live online on the OH Report. We'll be right back.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
High school football here in North Central Ohio. I'm Josh Stallings alongside Jeff Roberts, and it is Northmor with their third possession of the ball game already, leading 7-0 with 2:35 to go in the first.
Yeah, defender for Upper Sandusky, like you said, he was right there, the one on top of it making the tackle, but he's still down. Now he's a good 5 yards on the sideline. They're going to help him up now, but they're bringing out the cart for him, and never a good sign there. But even still, and they're actually going to lift him up and put him in the cart. So even kind of a worse sign when you see that.
But number 40, Curtis Conrad.
Yep. Made a nice play on
Goodness,
that one.
that's Northmor. I apologize.
Nope.
That's Nathan Lewis.
Yeah. Early in the season for us.
Got to get my sheets right.
That's right. We'll get it together.
The print is small.
That's right. Yes, that's exactly right. And my vision is bad.
Here we go, Northmor, A.J. Bauer. They are facing a 4th down. They will punt.
Bad punt.
Off the side of the foot, and that's going to go nowhere. Into the Upper Sandusky sideline at about the 31-yard line.
Yep. Team's going to be able to make fun of the coach because he dropped that one. Hit him right in the hands.
So the punt.
Coach, you can't yell at us when we drop balls now, but still, I got to be honest with you, they're going to be inside the 30-yard line.
Great starting field position for Caden Holman and the Upper Sandusky Rams. Conrad's punt just off the side of his foot. And
it's going to probably be more like the 29, 28. So still not ideal if you're Northmor. But, they got to start a drive that they were able to score on deep in upper territory because of a turnover. Now a bad punt's going to put the Rams in a good spot.
Holman in the pistol. He's got 2 to the left, 1 to the right with a wing. Going to give to the back, bouncing on the left side, running it over the 30 or 25 is Noah Hale. Hale, a little bit of a bigger guy.
Yep, he's taller and lankier. Ward a little, squattier, but again, kind of a different running style, but effective run right there. Took him around the edge, got about 6. They would love if Upper Sandusky can get 6 yards of run in this offense. Boy, oh boy, they are. That is the only thing that's going to hold them back from scoring a lot of points.
Holman's got Ethan Hill lined up wide to the left. He's going to toss it left side, moving with the football. 18, Noah Hale, and Hale gets over the 20, maybe the 19-yard line. We'll see what they spot it.
They're going to give him another 6 yards or so, 6, 7 yards. So
you'll be close to a first. No, they'll move the chains.
Yeah, they're going to move it. I mean, they're just moving it pretty easily right now. 2 runs. Really effective both times for Noah Hale. Just running a sweep around the left side.
Northmor's got some good size on that defensive line. but Upper doing a good job moving them out of the way.
So they're really big in the middle. So going straight up the gut is going to be tough, but that's not really Upper's game that much anyway.
Trips right on 1st and 10. Holman pumps, throws across the middle on a screen play. He's got him complete at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown. That's number 2, Damon Ward. Or no, excuse me, number 5, Gavin Fry. Yep. I apologize.
I'll tell you what, that was the short route that we talked about before the game that Gavin Fry likes to catch. Remember, he only averaged less than 9 yards a catch last year because he catches those short ones. I mean, he's 5 yards inside on the line of scrimmage, but they just dropped it right in his hands. And Northmor had spread out the space. There was nobody in the area, so then it just becomes a foot race to the end zone. And he's just diving and darting, and the receivers downfield did a good job blocking. He barely got touched until he was about 2 yards from the end zone. Great play right there for Upper Sandusky.
Rams answer as we get to the end of the first quarter. On to attempt the extra point, number 2, Damon Ward. Snap back, hold is down, kick is up, and Ward's kick is good. Minute 24 to go in the first quarter, and we are knotted at 7. The Northmor Golden Knights and the Upper Sandusky Rams. You're listening to WQEL 92.7 FM and streaming live online on the OH Report.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
From Upper Sandusky High School, it's the Burkhardt Farm Center Game of the Week on WQEL 92.7 FM and streaming live online on the OH Report. Upper Sandusky answers with a touchdown. We are tied at 7. Gavin Fry, the possession receiver, catches a slant, scampers into the end zone.
Little lesson for both. Anybody who's playing Northmor or Upper this year, don't give them short yardage to get to the end zone because they're going to get in. Too much talent on both of these teams to stay to make them only go 30 yards to score.
Damon Ward will kick off for the Rams. Not a lot of respect for Ward's leg as the returners are at the 19.
Right. And there it is.
Rightfully so. Fielded by the deep man on the far side at the 22. That is number 2, Hunter Falk. And Falk is going to be driven down at about the 28-yard line.
Brody Cox in there making the tackle. A lot of bodies in there, though. A lot of gang tackling. They'll put it at right about the 30-yard line.
They're going to give them the 30.
But, still, this is what Upper Sandusky needs to do defensively is, again, minimize the mistakes. The penalties and things like that are big problems. But they want Northmor to have to go 70 yards. And I think the reverse is actually the exact same scenario. Game of field position is going to play a big deal.
And I don't think Bauer is as heavily tooled as Caden Holmes.
No,
he's not going to run the football, get pressure on him. Chris Campbell getting the carry on 1st and 10. No gain on that play, maybe even a loss of a yard.
Well, I think that's part of it is, we talked about this, you and I were talking about it yesterday, that Ken Holman might end up being, as far as what we see this year, he might not, if he's not the best, he'll be one of the best athletes we'll see on the year. And football's not even his best sport. And that's no disrespect to how he is as a football player.
We're going to go quads left. Throw the one-on-one backside, and he aired it out a little too far. Looking down there for, I didn't see the intended receiver. Those yellow numbers.
It is, I think it's
Campbell?
Landon. Landon.
Okay.
Yeah, 19. But the point that I'm saying is that it's like when you get guys who are like that, just supreme athletes. I mean, and anybody who watched any baseball this past year with Caden Holman, he's something super special.
Just dominant.
Guys can't hit him. So when you get guys like that, you can build and do things differently around him. A.J. Bauer's maybe not that level of athlete, but you can see right there, he's got a gun on him. He can throw the ball a long way.
They're going to throw it again. Tight end screen up the middle. He's got his man, got a first down and more. 45, down to the 50. And that is complete to Jason Wanger. Beautiful execution on the tight end screen. They went quads to the right with a tight end. They motioned the guy out there late, and that tight end just hung tight. Let the offensive line get down the field a little bit, caught that screen pass, and excellent execution up to the 49.
Yeah, and the defender coming over, who was a defensive lineman, he's trying to kind of back up and try to catch him. He's just not fast enough to run him down. He's trying to take an angle to him, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't have the foot speed to be able to catch him from the side.
Bowers in an empty backfield, facing a 5-man rush. Throw it again, wide open in the middle, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Jackson Wanger. They showed a 3-man front. They brought the 2 middle linebackers, and nobody home.
Yep.
Nobody there in the middle of the field. I don't know where the safety went, but Northmor able to score once again. Beautiful pitch and catch with Wanger, and it's Northmor 13, Upper 7.
Yeah, just fall asleep, but that's a defensive breakdown when a receiver, especially like with Wanger, who's one of their top 3 receivers returning this year, he's no slouch. It's not like he didn't catch passes last year. He did, but they just let him go, and he was just running in the middle of the field completely with nobody around him.
The hold by Wanger. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So now 14-7, Northmor leading Upper Sandusky on the road here in week number 1. You're listening to WQEL and the OH Report.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Here over the Upper Sandusky Rams. Bauer connects with Wanger for the touchdown.
Yeah, that didn't take any time right there. 2 big passing plays, and they're in the end zone.
Squib kick fielded by Martinez. Martinez starts up the right side. He's got the 20. He's got the 30. Flag comes in. Trucks a defender. Gets over the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Trucked.
Yeah, he did. Murked.
Bodies going all over the place. Flag
we'll
down, though. Yep, like
what
you
the
said.
flag is, I'm assuming, obviously on Upper Sandusky, that'll back them up a little bit.
Yep.
And Upper has not had favorable field position. They've given Northmor great field position, found, with the opening fumble. That will be the end of the first quarter, however. So we will take a timeout. You're listening to WQEL and the OH Report. It's week 1 of high school football here in North Central Ohio.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
562-2222, toll free 1-888-843-0024. You know, he covered everything probably last night, but you know there's constantly developing stories that he's got all sorts of stuff to talk about tonight.
Absolutely.
So,
one of the things that I don't think any of us talk that much about is, Colonel Crawford going about 3 hours away and playing a team. A lot of people around here, we don't know a lot about River, but they went very deep in the playoffs last year, Division 7, very deep. I mean, I think maybe even state semifinals. So to pick up a victory against a team like that,
after trailing 14-0,
after a 3-hour ride. Well, I know they spent the night down there, but still, still a 3-hour trip.
Tough environment for a high school
that
kid,
is
no matter what.
not easy, and a huge job, a great job to Coach Bruner and the Eagles.
Penalty on the first play of the Upper Sandusky drive, their third of the game. So the false start backs him up 5. It'll be 1st and 15. Ball spotted at the 15. Holman in a gun. No, he's in a pistol. Got 3 to the left side, back behind him. He is going to throw it. Jailbreak screen right side, pass caught. Looking to make a move in the open field. Throws a stiff arm at the 22, goes down, and that was complete to Ethan Hill. And Hill showing a little elusiveness there, but he's going more east and west. He's got to make a commitment.
They added time on the clock. So now that's the end of the first quarter. So gives us an opportunity to thank some more sponsors.
I guess we'll take another timeout. You're listening to WQEL and the OH Report. It is week number 1, and when we come back, it's going to be Upper Sandusky with the football.
2nd and 7 on their own 20.
A minute, John. I don't know. I have no idea. I got no answers.
So the scoring updates in the first quarter. Riverdale 12, Bucyrus 0. In the first quarter, tied at 6 is Crestview and Seneca East.
Burning timeout, brother.
Cary 7, Hopewell Loudon 6.
They know we need it.
And scores from last night, Tippin Calvert 14, Mohawk 12. Galleon 28, Winford 20, and Colonel Crawford 21, Hannibal River 20. Again, those last 3 games were finals from last night.
Now we'll open up the second quarter. Upper Sandusky looking at a 2nd and 7. Stack trips to the right side, Holman in a pistol. Claps his hands, has the ball, and he's going to throw a quick stop over there to Hill, excuse me. And Hill scampers for about 5.
They're just giving him
quick stop route.
They're giving a lot of space over there because they're in man coverage and they're respecting Ethan Hill's speed. Obviously, they're really concerned about his ability to get behind them. So the quarterback's playing off, and Upper Sandusky's like, all right, if you're going to give us 5 yards, we'll just take the 5 yards. We'll do this. We'll play pitch and catch.
Hill again, the lone receiver on the left, trips to the right. Holman with Martinez behind him.
Tail, actually.
Going to go under center. And just straight quarterback keeper, and Holman is going to push the pile.
Yep.
Picks
Easy
up
enough.
2, just old school football there. Do just enough, get the first down.
Payne home on the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, if you got
Tackled by Thomas Detweiler.
decent-sized lineman and an athletic quarterback who's got a little size, that play it's a guarantee for 3 yards. So you can move the the chains.
Check yourself and push the pile.
Yep.
1st and 10. Here's Holman. Once again in the pistol. Has it. Fakes it. Throws over. Hill again.
Yep.
And incomplete.
That time they
Let
did
him too much.
They faked the handoff, and like you said, I think he thought Hill was going to be kind of doing a mini slant, or excuse me, it was Hill doing a little mini slant right there, cutting over the middle, but he just did a stop route and turned. So they were a little off the mark there, but even still, the defensive back saw the fake handoff. He was breaking in on the receiver pretty quickly, so I don't think he was going to get anywhere.
Francis checks in at receiver. Holman wants to throw, going to go deep. He's got Hill, but in double coverage, just threw it well out of range for Hill. Incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Holman's kind of quickly going through his routes. Like, he'll just, he might look at, maybe Hill's his first target, and if it's not there immediately, he knows he's running deep. So he'll just quickly glance over, look at Fry, look at Martinez. And if those guys aren't noticeably open, he then just goes right back and throws it. He's like, all right, I'm just going to check it out. I'm going to see what can happen.
3 to the right, 3rd and 10. Holman going to throw it again. Air-mailed it to Hill.
Yep, he's mad at himself because he knows he just let him
Had him on the comeback route, right at the sticks, incomplete. That'll bring on the punt team with 10:43 to go here in the first quarter. Northmor leading 14-7.
That's a really good route by Hill. That little down and out right there, because he was 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. If that passes on mark, it's a first down, and he's in double coverage. I mean, he just, back the defenders off enough and just cut him out, cut that route outside. But Holman, he knew. He's like, the moment it left his hand, I could see in his body language, he was like, darn it, I gave him just a little bit too much lead.
Holman will take a few more steps back and assume the punt position. Punt it away from his 20. High punt, spiral, will go down and go out of bounds. I think he got it inside the 40. We'll see where the official spots it. He's going to run down and backtrack now. We'll see the Northmor offense and All-Ohio and A.J. Bauer back on the field, and they'll spot it at the 38-yard line.
Hayden Holman's punt goes out of bounds at the Northmor 38, where the Gold Knights will take over 1st and 10.
3rd possession now for Northmor.
Yep. Last time they got it, they went 70 yards pretty fast. So see what kind of adjustments the Upper Sandusky defense has been able to make, because at this point in time, it feels like Northmor is moving the ball pretty easily. Having a scoreboard problem, though, right now.
A.J. Bauer in the gun. He is going to give to the back, but a flag flies right away. Cutting back left side and dropped for a 5-yard gain, but the flag's going to blow it dead. That was Paul Kramer.
They're going to, now Northmor, it was Bauer was looking at the team, looking at his coaches saying, this is on upper.
Legal formation.
It's an illegal formation, so he's incorrect. Don't follow the high school kid. He doesn't know.
Not enough guys on the line of scrimmage, so Northmor is going to back it up 5, and they'll replay first down.
See, this is the type of stuff that when we saw this last night, when we were sitting there watching Gallion and Winford, we kept saying that, no, those were two teams that we really impressed with Winford's defense, and Gallion was able to get it out at the end, and they defensively played well. But whenever one team made a mistake, a little penalty or whatever, that ended the drive. The defense has stepped up, and that's something Upper's got to have happen now.
Bauer's going to give. Running back going straight ahead, cuts to the right side, close to the 40 to the 38. Once again, that was Paul Kramer, the ball carrier.
Yeah, it was actually pretty much the same run they just did moments ago, or at least pretty darn close to it. And I think they were looking at it going, we got 4 yards that time. Let's see if we can do that again and get another 4 or 5.
Looking at 2nd and 12. Clock moving here in the second quarter, 9:50 and counting. Upper hasn't showed a ton of pressure. I think they're putting a lot of faith in that defensive front.
Yep.
Bauer, again with a pocket. He's going to lob it out, pass complete. A little bit moved.
Kramer again.
Kramer, ball up to the 30. And he is brought down from behind at the 20-yard line. Tackle made by Ethan Lewis, and he just slipped out of the backfield untouched. You got to get a body on him.
Yeah, just once again, 44 yards there, and it is a simple case of a linebacker staring into the backfield a little too much, and he just let him get it behind him, and then Bauer was able to just kind of float a pass right into his hands. And it becomes a foot race down the field. Defensive back coming up to try to make the tackle, completely airmail. He whiffs the tackle, and now he gets another 20 on top of it.
Bauer with a fresh set of downs, going to go to the back. It is 21.
Yep.
Cohen Becker.
First time we've called his name.
Yeah, Becker with his first carry gets close to a first down. He's going to be about a yard shy. Becker looks to be a little bit more quick, a little bit more elusive.
Yep.
Once again, take his stance on the left hip of Bauer. Bauer calls for it. Hurry up offense. Gives it to him again. ISO play up the middle.
Fumbles the football, and
Upper Sandusky has it.
Yep. I tell you what, I was like,
hat on the football. That's what you teach.
I literally was like, I was about to say, I'm like, Man, this Becker, he's quick and he's doing a good job finding the hole. He's giving Northmor a whole new look out there offensively coming out of the backfield. But immediately, like you could see it as he cut through the hole and he tried to make a little shimmy move. The ball got away from his body. Like he didn't have the ball tucked in anymore. And when the hit came, it popped right up into the air. So big turnover right there. Upper Sandusky needed that.
Red zone turnover by the Rams. They give it back to Caden Holman. Holman now will send his offense onto the field. Line up in a pistol formation. He's got a back deep behind him. 2 to the left, 1 to the right on 1st and 10. 8:49 to go first quarter. Holman bounces the back up to his right hip, fakes the handoff on the end around. He's going to keep it himself. Holman trying to bounce it off tackle. Open field, second level. Holman, third level, 35, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That is Caden Holman in all aspects possible.
Yep.
He can throw it, he can run it.
And that just got him out of any type of damage. They were, sitting at the 5-yard line. One play later, 27 yards. And that's what it was. The only reason he doesn't go to the house is because they just had a good angle on him.
The field was 65 yards wide.
Exactly.
Trips to the right side and a pistol again on 1st and 10. Holman claps his hands, has it, wants to throw it. Rolling to the right. Great pickup block by Martinez. Trying to evade the defender. Keeps his feet. Lobs it. Caught on the sideline. What a play. Oh, goodness, Kevin Fry.
They're saying that he dropped it.
Official says no good. He was bobbling the football. Oh, goodness. Let's check the replay from OH.REPORT.
We're going to look at it right here. We'll call up the officials and we'll just let them know. Great job of eluding the pressure by Holman. He brings it in, and the ball's on his hip.
Oh,
I gotta be honest with you. I think it. I don't know. I mean, that's one of those that in the NFL they would argue about it. I felt like it was a catch because even though he had one hand on it and the ball was down on his hip, but he felt like he had it sort of tucked against his body. But as he slung it, that's when it slid away from him. But he was already out of bounds at that point in time. It's an up in the air play. It could go either way.
2nd and 10. Here's Holman. He's going to sling it again. Over to Hill. Hill throws a stiff arm. Gets by for a second face mask.
Yep. His helmet's
lost his helmet on that play. Defensive face mask. It's going to be a free 15.
Yep, exactly.
And another flag.
Yep, they're going to get 7 yards. Again, a simple pitch and catch out to Hill. It's 3-yard out route. He makes a little move to get a little more extra yards, and it looks like he's going to get about 7, but they got him right around the face mask to bring him down.
You got Northmor clapping their hands over there.
And I don't know if maybe they said
threw
something.
a flag later than the initial face mask.
Which, if that's the case, then it's sort of, kind of a silliness because that means it's probably something got said that an official didn't like.
Well, if they both had each other by the mask.
Yeah. That's also a possibility. We'll see what the officials are going to say now.
He's going to spot it.
Put it right back to where it was.
Personal foul. Offensive face mask.
Whoa.
Personal foul.
Yep, they gave him both for face
They
masks.
will call it offsetting face mask penalties, and we will replay 2nd and 10 with 8:24 to go here in the second quarter.
Rarely do you hear the offensive face mask.
Especially when the offensive guy gets his helmet ripped off.
Right, exactly. That's pretty rare, but Northmor will catch a little break there because that would have been 22 yards down the field. That would have been a pretty big pickup. Got him right into Northmor territory.
Martinez lined up wide to the right. He's the lone receiver near side. 2 to the left. Holman again in the gun. Motion man, left to right. He's going to give it to him. Here comes Fry. Fry moving around the corner. Fry is pushed out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Good pursuit angle there by the middle linebacker. Also, the corner able to shed his block and push him out of bounds.
We talked about this a lot last night. What I like about that, it was a 5-yard pickup, nice solid run. But I also just like the fact that it's another look. I'm big about putting a lot on film, for the following teams and for the team that you're playing. If they know what you're going to do pretty consistently, and it's like, okay, Holman's going to throw the ball. All right, well, fine. Then you just got to figure out what routes it is. But if you're going to do some end runs with receivers, that's something different.
Holman wants to sling it.
Got it.
Comeback route, complete to Hill. Hill's got the first down at the 48-yard line, and he goes down right about the 49. And that's just finding the soft spot in the defense. Knowing that you have faith in your receiver to find that soft spot, not just run the route that's on paper.
Yep.
Run the route and then find it. Work back to the quarterback, work left, work right, whatever it is. And Holman doing a great job to find him there, moves the sticks. 1st and 10, 7:33 in the second quarter.
And he obviously has so much faith that Ethan Hill is going to get open. He's just, I mean, Ethan Hill's 135 pounds, but you get that type of speed and his ability so he's quick too. So it's really hard to guard him.
Holman's going to give to Hale on first down, pushes his way to the 45-yard line. Give him a gain of 6 on 1st and 10. Bring up 2nd and 4. Clock continuing to roll. Close to 7 minutes now in the first half. Northmor 14, Upper 7.
And again,
There's 2 games in a week, man.
I know. We're not accustomed to it. Luckily, we won't have to do it again. Not until the playoffs, at least.
2nd and 4 here. We're in Northmor territory. Upper Sandusky going to go with the spread. 2 to the right, 2 to the left with the wing left. Holman, empty backfield. He's going to fake the handoff on the jet motion, keep it himself, go up the gut, and he's going to be right at the sticks, maybe about a half-yard shy. He sent Caleb Francis in motion, fake the jet sweep.
Tackled by Caleb Chenier.
And you just, you know that Caden Holman, 6'3", 195, he's a big-bodied guy.
Yeah.
But you think of him, he wants to sit in the pocket. He can lower his shoulder, and he'll run over.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the only thing that's hard is that when they run in the middle, Northmor has Ryan Lowry in there who's 6'2", 240. So that's not an easy guy to try to get out of the way, but you're right. I mean, if Holman has top speed and lowers the shoulder, he's going to be tough to not have a fall forward yard.
Toss play right side to Hale, following the motion, and he got to the 40. That's going to give him enough for the first down, 2-yard pickup. And a great job on that shuffle motion to seal the end. You don't need a big play there.
Nope.
You just need just enough.
As a matter of fact, I thought that's something that coaches will end up talking to Noah Hale. He's a senior, but talk to him later in the week and say, hey, look, on this run here, you took your time. Like, he was really kind of looking for a bigger hole. You need 1 yard for a first down. Just go get it. Like, there was plenty of space where he could have just jarred it out, gotten 2 yards almost immediately. The more you sit around in the backfield, better chance you're going to get hit and lose yards.
Exactly. Know what we need in this situation.
Yep.
Shuffle motion again by Damon Ward, right to left, empty backfield. Holman wants to sling a jailbreak. Left side has Hill. Hill started up the middle, now throws a stiff arm. And what a play on the outside by the DB.
Yep.
He wasn't letting him go. In on that play, number 24, that's Bryson Kearns. Kearns was not letting go of Hill.
Well, everything about that play was sort of interesting. Not only a great defensive play by Northmor, but the throw by Holman was low. And as a result, I'll be honest with you, I thought it was going to get trapped or even one hopped into Hill. Somehow he was able to reach down and snag it. But when you have a throw that's a little off like that, it does slow down the momentum of that play because your receiver's got to pull it back up and then try to figure out a way to get their bearings back to turn upfield. And that just allows the defender to get another half step in on him. So by the time Hill turned up the field, the defender is on him.
5-17, empty backfield, trips to the right side. He is going to air it out. He's got a wide open. Martinez was all alone. Give him his own area code.
And he just overthrew him.
And he just let him into the sideline, incomplete.
Yep. Well, that's going to be another, coachable moment where when you look at it and say, Caden, you are great. You're the gunslinger, as you keep saying, but just put it in a place where your receiver can catch it. That's a totally uncatchable ball. He's open by 10 yards in every direction.
I'd rather you throw it too hard than too far.
That's correct. I mean, even if you threw it in the middle of the field, you throw a lot of air underneath it. That receiver's so wide open, just let him go underneath it and grab it.
Doubles in a pistol for Holman. 3rd and 8. He's
Oh,
got Hill.
great.
Hill on the comeback, complete with the hash mark, and he's got the first down and more inside the red zone to the 15-yard line. Oh, he threaded the needle on that one, Jeff.
That is a pitch and catch right there. Like you said, he just guns it right into this small window, and it was a little behind Hill, but Hill, hand catcher, not catching him with the body, peeled back across his body, was able to pull it out of the air, turn upfield, 25 yards.
I think one thing we don't talk about enough, or maybe don't talk about enough, is the pocket presence that
Yes.
Caden has. So much confidence in his offensive line. Doesn't doesn't get flustered, just sits back there. He'll take a hit and deliver. Hands off to the back this time. Moving right side off tackle is Damon Ward.
One of the
Ward with a big, he's a short, compact guy, but a lot of power. Runs very low to the ground, able to pick up 3, maybe 4 there. Get him close to the, spotted at the 10.
One of the things you were just talking about with Holman is standing in the pocket. Part of it is not only confidence, but you have to have a certain level of toughness about you. You don't have to worry about getting hit. And I've heard that about him. A lot of coaches have told me he's tough as heck.
Quick delivery near side. He's got his man, number 5, Gavin Fry fighting. And they'll give him forward progress to the 6-yard line.
Yeah, they'll give him
simple stop
few
route.
More, again, probably about 3 more there or so, maybe, between 2 and 4 depending on the spot. And they'll give him a little bit more there. So it's probably going to be a 3-4 yard pickup. So, again, they're in a spot right now where Upper is going to go for it on 4th down. So picking up little plays like that is big.
Here we go. Holman sends trips to the left side. 3:58 to go in the first half. Holman's empty backfield. Looking for the slant route. Steps up in the pocket. He is hit and he is dropped. Northmor got there. A 4-man rush was all it took.
Yep.
In there on the sack. Number 30. Cameron Goldblock, the junior, 6'1", 170 pounds, flexing after that play, and he blew by the near side defensive end and made the play.
Yeah, it's a big play. But it also just shows that when you run this spread offense, it's really hard sometimes when you get close to the end zone because you can't send anybody deep, and the defenders are all packed inside. The windows were really small. Holman didn't really have anybody open on that play, so he just had to eat it.
Here's 4th down. Holman steps up again, rolling left, keeping his eyes downfield, lets it fly, incomplete into the end zone.
Yep.
Looking over there for number 7, Caleb Francis. It's incomplete, and the Northmor defense holds. They keep a 14-7 lead here with 2:59 to go in the second.
Yeah, you know what, Caleb Francis, he was open for a second. It took, Holman an opportunity. It took him a second to sort of kind of get into a free zone, not only to be able to recognize it, but to realize, oh, there's my guy, and I'm in a position where I can throw across my body and throw it there. The pass was definitely behind Francis, but also Francis is kind of a newer receiver for Holman, and you can tell he's still kind of learning his quarterback there because the pass was behind him probably about a yard, maybe 2 yards. And you could tell Francis sort of kind of gave up on it, almost like he thought the pass was going to be to somebody else. And then he turned around and realized nobody else was there, and he was like, oh, I could have made a more effort on that.
You got to find that soft spot and stop.
Yep.
So Northmor takes over 1st and 10. 2:59 to go, first half. Ball on the 13-yard line. Bauer wants to throw. He's got a man in the middle of the field, and he aired it out, but a little too far for the intended receiver, number 3. That is Jackson Wanger. Wanger at 6'2", 185. He beat the safety. And they just were expecting run there, I think. Or something levels, not a deep shot down the field.
Well, Martinez was Martinez was running with him. It was probably about a half yard behind, and then in the last 10 yards, you can see Wingers are starting to pull away from him. And then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, now you're beat. That's why speed is so valuable, is because if you can get behind that defender, a half yard can become a full or a yard.
Last night with James Renfrew.
That's right, very, very quickly.
Trips left. Steps up in the pocket, wants to throw again, and cut it over in the middle at the 40-yard line. 45, juke move up to 50, 45. We got 3 Upper Sandusky Rams trying to catch him. On their chase, Becker to the end zone, touchdown, Northmor.
Oh my gosh. Becker just kind of got away from everyone, and we just talked about it, that concept of getting behind and making it a foot race. And you can see when he got into the open field, he was just a little bit faster than a lot of guys chasing after him. And the good news, he also had, Wenger down the field lead blocking. I mean, he had other guys going with him. Bo Landon was running behind him. They're getting in the way of guys who were trying to cut off an angle, but they could never get to him. And Cohen Becker ends up making an 87-yard touchdown.
Makes it 20-7 Northmor. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good off the foot of Caleb Schruner, and Northmor now leads by 2 touchdowns, 21-7 with 2:37 to go here in the first half. The Upper Sandusky, that'll work. No, John, you're fine, dude. Don't worry about that.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Of the N10 here in the first half, 21-7, and A.J. Bauer, the All-Ohio returning quarterback, is putting up quite the first half.
Yeah, he's doing all right, isn't he? You know, not too shabby at this point in time. Got over 200 yards passing in the first half. That'll do. 2 touchdowns, but an 87-yarder like he just had right there makes it pretty easy. I mean, but that, you know, Upper's got to clean this up defensively. I mean, they've got an 87-yarder, a 51-yarder, and a 44-yard pass against them right now.
Here comes Martinez. Out again at the 28, and Northmor covers it up.
Well, they're just putting the head right on the ball. I mean, it's so typical. You know, Carson Campbell making the tackle right there. Lowered, went to go wrap up, got right around Martinez, but he puts the helmet right on the ball. It's actually a shoulder pad. And Martinez fumbles the kickoff for the second time in the game. So something else that they're going to have to work on. And Northmor, another opportunity to put some points on the board before halftime.
Sophomore Carson Campbell coming up big on special teams, gives Northmor their chance to make it a 3-score game before halftime. Deep in upper territory at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, that's pretty rough right there. I mean, for Upper Sandusky, I think the coaching staff was like, all right, look, we're down 2 scores, not a big deal. We got plenty of time on the clock with our type of offense. We get some points back, and now they're going the other way.
They're going to fumble in the back.
Fumble, yeah, that's a strip. They got it.
Strip sack in the backfield. He reared back to throw, but he never got into forward motion. That was Brody Cox coming in from the backside and knocking that thing away.
That was huge. Coming free from the backside. The tackle went in and blocked. The guard couldn't get around to the edge fast enough, and Cox got him from the backside. Bauer never saw him coming.
He was going to take a deep shot down the field, and why not? As any coach would do right after a turnover, why not try and capitalize with a deep shot? And just a split second forces the turnover. Upper Sandusky gets it back with 2:22 to go, and Caden Holman back on the field.
That was big. Upper Sandusky needed that. And again, with 2:22 on the clock in this type of offense, they've got some guys who can move. Holman with a great arm. This is not another realm of possibility for them to get points on the board here.
Trips right, 4-man rush on a Northmor. Disrupted the play in the backfield, but Holman with a great block on the receiver, and I don't know. We'll see the replay. It was either a phenomenal block or a penalty by that receiver, but he really freed it up for Caden Holman on the outside and picks up a big first down. I think he might have got away with one there.
I think he was good at first, and then he started getting away from him. He didn't tuck it back in, but you know, whatever, refs didn't call it, so a big run right there.
1st and 10 for Holman and the Rams. Trips to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. Holman in the pistol. Back behind him, claps for it, and now he's going to look to the sideline for a change of play. Martinez, lone receiver to the right side. Hill, far side on the trip side. He is going to give it off to the back. Moving straight ahead is Damon Ward. Ward gets to the 36-yard line. Knock him down there for a 4-yard pickup. We are at the 2-minute mark now of the second quarter. And if you're Upper, you really got to get in the end zone there because Northmore's getting the ball at half. And they should already be up 3 scores.
That's absolutely true. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, at this point in time, this becomes very important. The first run there, 23 yards by Holman's going to really help. I mean, they did that very quickly, so they got time, but they're going to have to move here.
Zone coverage, 4-man rush by the Golden Knights. He's going to dump it off into the flats. Great coverage, and he's only able to get a few.
They're going to get a flag.
Oh, late hit?
Get him on the late hit, I think. Now, Northmor is kind of hands up in the air.
I want to see the replay on this one as well.
Yeah, he's out of bounds.
If that hit's illegal, then that's an incomplete pass.
Well, that's a good question here. We'll see if he gets his foot. Yep, foot down. Well, I don't know.
You got to get two.
No, you don't.
Oh, no,
Not
yeah, you're right.
You don't
Just
have to
one,
get
my
two.
fault.
Balls it. Yeah, he got that left foot down, and then defender comes over, gives him a little pop after he got out of bounds, Garrett Harvey, and that's going to end up.
Personal foul.
No.
On a defense, number 8, targeting.
Wow! Called it. Oh, okay. Well, that's even different. Targeting, I really don't see. Okay.
I saw a hit last night from the Mohawk-Calvert game where a kid left his feet, and he only got a personal foul, and they're going to go targeting there.
Did he hit him in the helmet? Is that the shoulder of the helmet? I don't know.
What a call.
Interesting.
1st and 10 either way with 90 seconds in the first half. A gift for the Rams. Here's Holman in the gun at the 20. Martinez wide right, Hill wide left. Now they'll shuffle Damon Ward right to left. Holman sets up in the pocket, all day to throw. Once over the middle, incomplete.
Yep.
Led Damon Ward a little bit too far.
Timing pass right there where Holman is, he let go of that ball well before Ward was deep into the route. Like he was just going to float it up over the top, expected Ward to be able to get away from the defender. And defender sort of kind of, held him up a little bit, just got a hand on him to slow down Ward's momentum. He wasn't holding him. He just hit him inside that, that safety zone where you're allowed to put some hands on a guy, and that slowed down Ward's momentum to the middle of the field.
Doubles formation now. Minute 25 on 2nd and 10. Holman sends a man in motion, left to right. Looking backside, going to throw it over to Hill, and he put it in there, and he's going to get a pass interference call. Hill, what a job able to sell it.
Absolutely. Right there.
Let those arms flail a little bit.
Becker there on the defense, just kind of trying to come over from the backside. That's a tough play either way. I mean, it's a long throw to make to the back shoulder. I mean, he's throwing to the long side of the field. But the defender has to come over the top, and he puts that right hand on the shoulder pad and reaches over the top of him. And a lot of times officials are like, some of them will let it go, but most of them these days will call it.
Depends how good of an actor your receiver is.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. So, and again, for Upper Sandusky, they've moved a lot of yards and only wiped out about a minute on the clock. So this has worked out pretty well for them.
After the penalty, they'll spot it at the 7-yard line. Martinez wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. Once again, Holman in the pistol, and now the official's going to stop it. You got to sort something out? No. All right, 2nd and 3. Pistol formation. Holman claps for it, has it. Going to hand off to the back, moving straight ahead. Great job by the center of that defensive line. Bring him down. It was Damon Ward on the carry, but Northmor all over that one, able to shuck the block, make the play.
Gain of 2, 3rd down and 1.
Yep, got about 2 on that play. 3rd down and 1, and again, they've got a minute on the clock here, so, minute 6 and counting, and they're
Rams with 3 timeouts, Northmor with 2.
They got plenty of time, so the Rams got to kind of look at this as like, we can get a 1st down and use our timeouts, burn out. They don't want to give Northmor any time to be able to score again and throw another 87-yard touchdown.
Hill, Fry wide left, Martinez wide to the right. Holman looking left. Once Hill is going to go to Fry. Fry on the out route, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown.
2nd touchdown.
That's a beautiful rub route right there.
Yep.
Slant in the out. The slant did its job perfectly. The rub executed to perfection.
Yeah, and it's also not only executed well, but that's where you need receivers who have the skill sets that these guys have. Fly in those short yardage, he's so quick and he darts in and out so fast that he kind of sat for a second and then very quickly broke outside, and the defender was like, oh my gosh, and he tried to catch up, but he was already 2 yards away from him at that point in time. Made it very easy to get in.
Hill to hold, Ward to kick, and a rainmaker is up and good. So it is 21-14, Northmor over Upper Sandusky. 33 seconds to go here in the first half. Upper doing a great job. They took advantage of the turnover there, drove all the way down the field, and get this game back within one score when they could have very easily been down 3. We'll take a break. Northmor with the ball. 33 seconds left in the first right after this.
Drawn at the end of the first quarter for tonight's contestant. Tonight, trying a 40-yarder for $100 will be Holden Darris. He will be doing it immediately at the end of the second quarter, right before the bands perform. So stick around to see if Holden can get a 40-yarder for $100.
Kicking off from the Rams is Damon Ward.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if they take it.
That was such a joke. I can't believe he called targeting.
Back to receive for Northmor, number 2, Hunter Falk, and number 3, Jackson Wenger.
Upper answers. It's a one-score game here, 21-14 from Upper Sandusky High School. The Rams of the N10 and the Golden Knights of the KMAC Conference. Northmor with a brilliant first quarter. See what they want to do here with their All-Ohio quarterback and 33 seconds on the clock. Squib kick going to be fielded by the up man. He scoops it at the 37, and he's going to work it up to the 43. So they got a short field here, Jeff. I don't like that. You got to kick that deep.
I don't like it at all because if the ball's kicked deep, I figured that Northmor would probably just kneel it out. 30 seconds left. If they've got 80 yards to go, they're going to kneel it out because they get the ball to start the second half. But from where they got the ball now, why not take a couple of shots?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what do you got to lose?
Your offense has scored 21 points already in the first half.
And you've already got pass completions. Your last 3 completions went 51, 44, and 87 yards. So why not?
It can be done.
Absolutely. I mean,
1st and 10 for the Golden Knights and All-Ohio quarterback A.J. Bauer. Bauer's going to set up in an empty backfield from his 37. 3 guys to the right, going to throw it over the middle, one-on-one. Intercepted! Came to home and high points the football at the 40-yard line. What a turn of events. Back-to-back turnovers by Northmor, and now Upper with 25 seconds to go will have a chance.
Yeah, I'll be honest. They were trying to do that same play that they just ran a little bit ago. Release it was Wagner right over the middle of the field. But this time, Upper Sandusky left Holman in the middle as a deep safety. Used his athleticism, his height. Just said, okay, look, if they try to pop it over the middle, he just came up and literally jumped over the top of the receiver, pulled it down. With 25 seconds left, we'll see if the Rams want to get aggressive now.
Holman, he'll take as many chances as you want to give him.
No
35 will stand at the 35 in the pistol. Trips left, one to the right. Motion a man out wide right. Screen play over the middle. Pass. He is drilled. Oh, what a hit.
Did he have to catch?
A fumble. No way it's a fumble.
Upper Sandusky's yelling he didn't catch the ball. That was no
chance.
Northmore, they're saying he did.
I mean, he was rocked.
Yep.
But he never established possession.
And that's a big
replay
turnover.
Initially, they're going to give it to him once. He never had a chance.
He got one half. He got one step down, and then his
the
second
officials
one
are going to
was
give
up.
it to him.
Oh yeah, that was it. They already moved it over. So
unbelievable.
Yeah, he took the one step, and as he turned, he got popped, and that ball came out. And now, with 19 seconds left, Northmor is in an area where they can try to
and that's
get
where
that
you
points
leave it up
up.
to. Did he make a football move? That's a judgment call. Yeah, that's not right. Either way, Northmor with the football. Motion man goes left to right to Trips. Bauer sets up, wants to air it out, goes one-on-one, up and incomplete. What a play defensively. He was out on an island all by himself, Gavin Fry.
Yep, they're trying to go to Bo Landon deep. Landon at 6 foot. Fry not at 6 foot, about 5'7". So it's, you try to put your tall receiver on a shorter cornerback, put him up over the top there. But I got to impress by Fry. Not only did he stay in front of him, he turned his body, so he was looking at the ball. He was playing the ball. You can't get him for pass interference at that point in time.
2nd and 10, 13 seconds to go first half. They motion to trips to the left. Bauer again in the empty backfield. 4-man rush. They'll throw a jail screen right side, and it's blown up by Martinez.
Good play.
He wasn't fooled on that one. Drops him for a yard loss on the play.
Yeah, going for Wagner.
Yep, complete to Wagner.
3 seconds left.
And they did stop the clock. So I don't know if Northmor has a field goal kicker that can.
I don't think so. They're just going to call a timeout so they can figure out a play that they can run that can maybe get them, 36 yards.
3 seconds to go here in the first half. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on WQEL and the OH Report.
Just the 30, John.
Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts back with you tonight on WQEL. 92.7 FM and live online on the OH Report. Here's Northmor looking for the end zone once again to close out the first half. 3 seconds to go. Bauer drops back, has time, lets it fly into the flats. It's complete for a first down. A little bit more, but he's going to be knocked down short of the goal line. He was going to have to make a play with his feet if he wanted to go anywhere with that. But a good stand by Upper Sandusky keeps him short. And we go to the half with a 21-14 Northmor lead in a very exciting first half, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? At all points in times, it feels like both teams can score whenever they want. Going to be a lot of adjustments defensively to make it half.
Two high-powered offenses clashing here in Upper Sandusky tonight. It's week 1 of high school football in North Central Ohio. You're listening to the Kent Standings Team Halftime Show on WQEL 92.7 FM and streaming live online on the OH Report.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
1975, one of the most recognizable bands in the world, known for their black and white flamboyant style and larger-than-life stage presence, they released an anthem for rock fans around the world. By rock and roll legend Kiss, this is Rock and Roll All Night. Our final song for our halftime show tonight is always a crowd favorite to sing along with fans reveling in the thought that good times never seem so good. By 1969 pop legend Neil Diamond, sing along to Sweet Caroline.
He'll come back to us later. He's just going to play all the upper band. He'll come back before, later.
Led by band president Carson Dunn and feature twirler Carly Riedel with flagline instructor Kristen Brown, majorette instructor Jalen Watterson, and under the direction of Jason Morris and Ken Hoffman, please welcome the 2023 Upper Sandusky Marching Ram Band! It's great to be back in the stadium for another year of Ram Football and Band. Our first halftime show of the year features the music of one of the best known artists of all time, Michael Jackson. Up first is the title track from his 7th studio album. Released in the fall of 1987, this song helped move the king of pop to an edgier image. Join in with the Ram Band as we start the show with Bad.
FM, WQEL.com, and streaming live online on the OH Report. We are at the half here from Upper Sandusky High School. Northmor on the road with the lead, 21-14. We saw a 21-point first quarter. Northmor had the lead 14-7. Northmor tacked on another touchdown in the second. Upper Sandusky tacked on another one. And it could have been a three-score game. Yeah. Northmor deep in Upper Sandusky territory. Upper got another turnover. They were able to score, and we're back at a one-score game now. Northmor, does have the football to start this second half. Yeah. But it has been a back-and-forth game. Neither defensive fronts, neither front seven defensively for Northmor or Upper has really stepped up.
I think sometimes what ends up happening is when you get high-power offenses that we have tonight, that there's a perk to it. They put up a lot of yards and a lot of points. But sometimes it also comes with a little bit too much comfort level, and they don't take care of the football. And that is what we're seeing. Now, Upper Sandusky has got 3 turnovers tonight. Northmore's got 2. And we know that 2 of Upper's came on kick returns. But it's still, you're dealing with a turnover offensively, Northmore with 2 turnovers offensively. So even though they're both putting up tons of yardage and a good amount of points, they're also letting the other team stay in the game. You know, imagine if Northmore is sitting here right now with 243 yards, 21 points, and they don't have any turnovers. I'm telling you right now, this game is basically in the books at this point in time. And Upper Sandusky's got to feel the same way at this point. I mean, that they're going to be looking at it going, we turned the ball over 3 times, and 2 of them really deep in our own territory. Actually, all 3 of them were in our own territory. And quite honestly, I mean, you know, the fact that we're only down 1 touchdown is kind of a pretty. We got to feel kind of lucky at this point. So now it's about cleaning it up. You just got to get it better at this moment.
Yeah, certainly nothing against Northmor and their offense, but if you're Upper Sandusky, your defense has to start making things happen.
Yeah.
Yes, you are going against an All-Ohio quarterback in A.J. Bauer, but you have got to start making plays. They're only bringing 4, sometimes even 3 guys. You have to put some faith in your DBs, your playmakers on the back end of that defense, and put some pressure on Bauer because he's got all day.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, you know, when you can have 226 yards passing at halftime, you're doing something wrong defensively.
Right.
I mean, it's coming on the back end and it's coming on the front end. 226 yards is not a breakdown of just the secondary. That's a breakdown of the entire defense. You know, so that's something that, you know, Upper Sandusky's got to work on. And quite honestly, this was a problem that they had last year. And, you know, early in the season, it took them half the year before they really hit their stride. And if they want to be a team that's going to be fighting for the top half of the N10, they're going to have to clean it up a little bit faster. But I think Northmore is probably going to be able to say the same thing at this point in time.
Golden Knights going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah.
And I don't shy away if I'm head coach Scott Ambrose. I'm not shying away from what I did in the first half.
Well, why would you? At this point in time, look, I would just take this opportunity because I'm going to follow up exactly what you said by looking at the individual numbers here. Okay. The running game for Northmore at this point in time, they're being led by Cohen Becker's got 2 carries for 15 yards. He actually has a fumble in there. So, like, you know, in the 2 carries, he fumbled once. Paul Kramer's got 3 carries for 7 yards, touchdown run. A.J. Bauer, 4 carries for -6 yards. And Carson Campbell's got 3 carries for 1 yard. So as a team, they've got 12 carries for 17 yards and a touchdown. All of their offense is coming through the air. So why go away from it? Your running game hasn't been getting you anything. But throwing the football, 8 of 12, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick for A.J. Bauer at this point in time. And again, they're moving it around. It's not like one guy's killing them. Several guys are killing them. Cohen Becker, 2 catches for 105 yards, touchdown for him. Jackson Wagner, 3 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. Paul Kramer's got a catch for 44 yards. Hunter Falk, who was their top returning receiver, he's only got 1 catch for 8 yards. And Carson Campbell's got 1 catch for -1. So this team's got 243 yards of offense, and 226 of it is coming through the air. So keep doing what you're doing at this point in time until Upper Sandusky can prove that they can stop it.
Yeah, and you want to get guys in his face, bring pressure on him so he doesn't have that beautiful pocket to throw out of. But if you don't have the confidence in the back end of your defense, then maybe man-to-man isn't what you want to do. Yeah. And that's what we've seen a lot in the first half. Man-to-man defense by the secondary of Upper Sandusky, and they're being picked apart.
Yeah.
And those are the same skill guys on the other side.
Absolutely.
So you've got to step up on both sides of the football, or if you don't have fresh legs, bring somebody in that can cover the skill guys. Yeah. Because Bauer is going to – you have 2 top-tier quarterbacks on the field tonight. Somebody's got to step up. Somebody's got to start winning the battle inside and make them change what they've wanted to do.
There's no question about it. As we look at Upper Sandusky real quick, Caden Holman leading the team on the ground, 7 carries, 58 yards, 21 yards on 4 carries for Noah Hale. Damon Ward, 5 carries for 7 yards. Gavin Fry, a carry for 5. They got 17 carries, 91 yards. Upper Sandusky through the air, 13 of 22 for Caden Holman, 102 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. And moving it around, it's Ethan Hill, the main guy, 6 catches, 59 yards. Gavin Fry doing a great job, 5 catches, only 29 yards, but he's got 2 touchdowns. Max Martinez a catch for 14, Damon Ward a catch for no yards. 193 yards of offense, not too shabby for Upper. They just got to get it going defensively, but I think we can say the same thing about Northmore.
First half numbers, 21-14. Northmor on top of Gallion. You're listening to the Ken Standing Seam halftime show brought to you by our friends Ken and Matt Studer at Ken Standing Seam. Phone Matt Studer today at 419-544-6275. That's Matt Studer at 419-544-6275. No matter what your roofing needs, Matt has the answer for you. Commercial, residential, whatever it is. Phone Matt today. More of this in the third quarter coming up right after this.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Upper Sandusky, Northmor with a 21-14 lead, and the Golden Knights are going to have the ball to start this second half. They forced a turnover on the opening kickoff, able to capitalize on that in an early 7-0 lead, and essentially that's an extra possession, Jeff.
Yeah.
That could prove to be the difference tonight.
It's a big deal, honestly. Really, when you're in a game like this, every possession's a big deal, but I've always maintained that if you're down 3 touchdowns, that's when you're starting to get into the worry area. If you can keep it in even 2 touchdowns down, you're okay. Like, you can turn you get a couple of stops, you get a couple of offensive drives, you're right there. But once you get down 3, it feels like the momentum is starting to kind of work against you, and it's going to start to snowball. And especially if you're down 3 touchdowns at halftime, it's a tough scenario. And if Northmor would have been up by 3 touchdowns with the ball right now, it would have been like, oh no, this is bad news for the Rams. As it turns out, right now, this is still a game that feels like it's very much up in the air.
The Rams getting set to kick it off to open up this second half. Damon Ward tees it up. Of course, it is week 1 of Friday Night Lights, so stay tuned. Davey Jones in the phone board coming up after this. Ward sends it deep. It's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line, up across the 25, 30, 35, and up to the 37-yard line. Going down is number 2. That's Hunter Falk. Falk with a decent return, sets up the Golden Knights for pretty good field position, and back on the field is junior All-Ohioan A.J. Bauer.
Yeah, he's picking up where he left off last year. 226 in the first half. Very impressive performance. And it's going to be really interesting. I don't expect to see much different out of the Golden Knights. Maybe they want to establish a little bit more on the ground, but for the most part, things are working. This is all going to be about what kind of defensive changes have been made by Upper Sandusky. And I think it's going to be the same way on the other side. But I'm really intrigued to see how they attack this differently tonight.
See if they get some pressure on Bauer here. 4-man rush. They're going to hand it off. And the first play of the second half goes for 2 yards for Campbell. Campbell moving on the ISO play up the right side. Not a lot of room.
Yeah, got a little fall forward to get probably an extra, but still, the one thing that you can see about Campbell, he reads the hole well. He just doesn't he doesn't explode. So he doesn't have that next level speed that makes him pay for it.
Low snap. Messed up the timing of that play, and Campbell's going to be dropped for a loss on the play.
Or at least when I say doesn't have the next level, see, he's not showing it coming out of the backfield. He might have it, but it might be like, I need to get in the open field before I feel comfortable with it. So, that's something they got to work on. But big third down here, and again, for the Rams to be able to come out and potentially get a 3 and out, that would be huge.
Back-to-back carries by Carson Campbell, sets up 3rd and 7. 2 to the left, now they'll motion, trips left side, tight end right. Bauer looks to throw. He's going to throw into the flats. Has a man. Pass complete. 43, 45, 50, and into upper territory for the first down at the 48-yard line. Yep. It is complete to Hunter Falk. Excuse me. That's Jackson Wanger. I apologize. Not number 2, number 3.
But I'm going to tell you,
these yellow numbers really throw me off.
What Northmor is doing is they are flooding certain areas on the field with multiple receivers, and it's freezing the Upper Sandusky defenders. They don't know who to guard, and they're just standing sort of in the middle of them. And it's like, no, you got to just pick one. You know what? Make a decision. If you stand there, you're not making any decision. It's worse.
Now Bauer on the straight quarterback keep. Give him the 45-yard line on a gain of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. And Northmor really, they just want to get a score. No matter how they have to do it here, whether they melt clock or get it done in a hurry, they just want to get in the end zone, get back to that 2-score lead.
Absolutely. You know what? No matter what happens here, Northmor is in a good position. They've got to lead in the ball.
Gallion, a little bit of a blitz there, and it works. Short gain on that play, maybe a foot. Initial hit happened in the backfield. It was Campbell once again. And it'll bring up 3rd and 6 from the 44.
Now, it'll be interesting to see if Northmor does sort of the same thing. Again, what they're doing is they're freezing the outside linebacker by hitting those guys with multiple receivers in that area. We'll see if they do it again and if Upper Sandusky makes the adjustments this time. They did it earlier. Remember, they were doing the pop pass, and they put Holman back. He got the pick. So let's see if they do anything differently here.
Rams showing blitz on 3rd down. They bring it from the backside.
Multiple guys. There it is.
Delivers across the middle. Pass cut and a first down.
Yep.
Delivers it perfectly to number 2, Hunter Falk, on a dig route across the middle of the field. Moves the sticks.
And that time, it wasn't a scenario where it was like, okay, we've forced our defensive backs into making a bad play or make them choose. There, it was just kind of they're sitting back in a zone, and he fell right into the middle of 3 defenders.
Here comes Campbell. Flag flies, gets to the 30-yard line, but it's probably going to come back in the area of holding.
Best hole of the day I've seen from Gallion.
They're pretty clear on
from Northmor, and there is the reason why, is that you could see it, and sure enough, that'll move it back a few yards here. The 10-yard penalty.
First penalty of the second half on Northmor. Takes the ball back to the 45-yard line, and it will be 1st and 20.
And obviously now, Northmor had these last couple of plays have sort of tried to establish a little bit of a run before going to pass. But being in a 1st and 20, I expect them to try to kind of deviate from that a little bit. They're going to probably throw the ball on 1st or 2nd down here. So, again, we'll see what the Rams do, because that's where they're getting killed.
They're going to motion Campbell into a slot. That's trips. Could have been a false start. No call.
There's the
end around. Jet sweep, and it's going to go for 8. Big hit on the far side. Delivered, but a gain of 9.
Yep.
The ball goes to 15, Caleb Schruner.
Yep, the kicker, who Again, before the game, I saw some stats that showed that he had some good running yards last year, but it's his first time carrying the ball tonight. You see what he can do when he gets around the edge there. Big 9 yards. I mean, that's nice. When you got first and 20, you can get 9. That's a great play.
Effective jet sweep sets him up 2nd and 11. And here's an end around. Underneath, they go through the B gap on the reverse.
Yep, hit the reverse at him.
That's going to set him up for a 3rd and 5. Good play call there. And a good seal block, able to free him up for a good 5 yards.
Schroeder again, running the ball there, gets about 6 on that play. So a team that has primarily had success throwing the football just ran 2 plays and got 15 yards. So now at a 3rd
showing
and
it
5.
on all of a different look.
Yeah, and by the way, they're in 4-down territory here. So
go back to Campbell. Campbell with a big seam. Campbell, 2nd level, 3rd level. Let's walk into the end zone, young man. Nobody touched him. He got to the 2nd level before you could blink an eye and made the 3rd level look silly.
Tell you what we're learning right now is not only is Northmore's offense pretty good, but Upper Sandusky's defense needs a lot of work because they've been getting gashed in the passing game. So they've tried to make some adjustments to that, and now they're getting killed in the running game. I mean, 3 plays in a row, and that one the worst of them all.
27-14 Northmore. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Schroeder makes it 28-14, 7:25 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Northmore Golden Knights with a 2-score lead on the road. You're listening to WQEL and streaming live on the OH Report.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Week 1 of high school football here on WQEL, WQEL.com, and live online on the OH Report. Northmore scoring on their opening possession of the 3rd quarter. They got a 2-score lead, 28-14. Schroeder now going to send it deep.
Big kick.
All the way back to about the 5-yard line. Here comes Ward. Ward up the far side, gets to the 20, and he's going to be knocked down right about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was actually a different returner at that time. That was Ezekiel Baldwin.
All right.
Which was interesting because, remember, they were going with Martinez in the middle.
42,
there.
not 2.
Yep,
okay.
and they had Martinez in the middle, but he had fumbled twice. So now they're making a little adjustments, and all right, just put a guy back there who can maintain possession here. But a lot of yardage in front of Upper Sandusky now.
Rams will have it 1st and 10, ball at the 19, looking to answer. Holman going to try and dial it up to keep his team close. Zone coverage being shown now by Northmore. A lot of space from the DBs. 2 to the right, 1 left with a slot inside of him. He's going to go to the back. Ward moving left side, off tackle. Ward's got 10, maybe 12.
That's a good run.
Good zone run play there by Damon Ward, has a 1st down.
Yep. Again, most of Upper's running yardage came in the first half from Caden Holman. He had 58 yards of their 91. So being able to establish Hale and Ward out of the backfield to get him some positive yards will be very big for this offense.
Stops the clock, 7:12 in the 3rd. Of course, it is Friday night. Davy Jones in the Friday night phone board coming up immediately following our broadcast here from Upper. Holman claps, has it, spins, gives to Ward. Ward looking to bounce it right side on the ISO. Gets outside the tackle, gets over the 33, up close to the 35-yard line. Let's give him the 35. Hunter Falk on the stop. But a good carry by Ward gives him a very manageable 2nd and a long 5.
Yeah, for those You're talking about phone board. Want to encourage everybody to call Davey afterwards. When you don't call, he gets lonely and sad. You know,
he wants to talk to you.
He's over 70, but he's very needy. You know. So give him a call tonight, please.
Joni's got a seat at the right hand.
That's right.
Holman gonna spin, give. Ward with a hole up the middle, lowers the shoulder. He's got the first down over the 43-yard line. Damon Ward, and he just trucked that linebacker. Now he wants to sub, you know. Hey, a little bit slow getting up on that play. He's got a wrap on that lower left leg.
And that will be,
he's
Noah
such
Hale.
a physical, tough runner. Damon Ward listed at 5'8", 180. That's a truck.
I got to be honest with you, he just came over to the sideline. We're looking at the OH report. Got a good look at him. He looks like Baker Mayfield in the face. Like he's got the bandana on. He's got the makeup underneath.
Holman gonna keep it. Faked it to Martinez. He's got the corner. Stepped out with a hard hit. Went low on Holman.
Yep.
He's a little slow getting up there. And that was 2 steps after he went out of bounds, but he tried to stay in. So very legal hit there. And certainly, you know, if I'm a defensive backs coach, that's all I'm showing or teaching how to tackle.
And if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm looking at him and saying, Caden,
step out of bounds.
Go out of bounds. Stop trying to prove your mettle. You're all right.
5:58 in the third, 28-14. Upper needing a score here. They have it in Northmor territory, their first possession of the third quarter. Trips left with a slot. Lone receiver to the right side is Martinez. Toss play. That is Martinez. Excuse me, Martinez is up.
Hale.
Oh, Hale.
Yep.
13, not 8, or 18, not 13. And he gets to the 44-yard line.
But a good 5-yard run, and again, in a first down. So, you know, Upper Sandusky, who, again, first half got most of their yards through the air as well, even though they did have some success running, again, with Holman. Now they're establishing a running game here in the second half, as I think they kind of assumed, all right, well, you know, the Golden Knights are going to adjust to the passing game. Well, we'll go to the ground.
Timeout taken. We will take one as well. 5:42 to go here in the third. It's 28-14. Northmor on the road over Upper.
Let's give a big hand for our cheerleaders out on the track working so hard tonight.
It's week 1 of high school football, so coming up next week, we'll have week number 1 of the high school football final show. The revamped high school football final show will be bringing you live in-game highlights as we highlight the top performers of the week. So tune in to the Facebook pages of Mizik Miller, Primal Insurance, WQEL, and Raw Supply on Thursday as we'll be bringing you the top gridiron performers from the previous week. Upper out of the timeout with the football. Caden Holman looking to answer the opening touchdown drive for Northmor. And officials still trying to sort it out.
Yeah, it's kind of a...
Looking at first. Well, no, we still got to get the chains
Well,
set.
they haven't set the chains properly, so it's like, yeah, it was a first down. Now they're going to bring them over, ready to go.
1st and 10 from the 44.5 of Northmor.
And after that timeout, Upper Sandusky is going to set up in a very
quads right
spread formation. Like, yep, okay, well, we were running the football. You want to call a timeout and think it over? Well, now we're going to start throwing it again.
Mm-hmm. Hill, lone receiver to the left, 4 to the right, and on the far outside is Max Martinez. Holman alone in the backfield at the 49-yard line in the gun. Wants it. Ooh, hard count. Almost got him, and I think they did. They got him to go into the neutral zone.
Yep.
Neutral zone infraction against the defense.
Yeah, defensive end just popped a little too far. He couldn't stop his momentum from coming over that line. So
free 5 yards for the Rams.
Yep. And if I'm Upper, I always say, like, you're at the 39-yard line of the Golden Knights. You just got a first down and 5. Take your shot. Like this is the type of play where you say, all right, we're sending somebody deep.
Me versus you.
Me versus you. I'm going to take my fast guy, I'm going to put him over the top of you, and I'm going to try to score in one play.
Again, quads right. That's the wide side of the field. Hill alone on the backside. Holman looking right. Now steps up, wants to run. Empty middle of the field, and he gets up to the 30-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down.
Sure is.
And I think, Jeff, if it was there and you wanted to, you could throw it, but mainly you just keep it and get what we need for a first down.
Well, being first down, I mean, that's the reason why, it's like why
force it?
You don't have to force anything. You just kind of, all right, well, I'm going to look to see it. Oh, no, I'm not seeing what I'm looking for, so no big deal. Tuck and run. I'll get the first. And we're, kind of maneuvering ourselves into Golden Knight territory here. So it's going all right for Upper on this drive.
Ward with Holman in the backfield, trips to the left this time on 1st and 10. Wants to throw it. Quick stops. They threw the out route.
Yep.
And that was incomplete, looking for Gavin Fry.
Yeah.
Fry barely had his head turned.
Yeah, timing was off on that play.
I think
Holman a little in front of it.
I wonder if he wanted a 5-yard stop out of his far side guy, or
Yes,
far
that's what it
outside
looked
guy,
like
not
to
a
me.
10-yard.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. It looked like even though Fry was the closest receiver, I'm not sure he was the intended target.
Right. I think it was supposed to be more 5 to 7 than 7 to 10. 2 right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 10, following the incomplete pass. Once again, Ward joins him in the backfield. Holman in the gun, shuffles a man right to left. Has it, toss play, Ward, spin move on the tackle, and he's going to go down for a short gain at the 30-yard line. Ward trying to get a little fancy, but he had to. That defensive end did a great job crashing down, disrupting that play, and just a lot of hats to the football for Northmor.
Absolutely. Very short gain right there. And, it is 3rd down, probably, 8.5 yards or so. But Upper's going to go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here. So, they're deep enough in the Golden Knight territory.
Inside 4 to go, 3rd quarter. Trips right for Holman. Scans the field. Holman has the snap, steps up in the pocket, has some time, rolling right, looking downfield, lets it fly. Back route. What a pass! Oh, only where his guy could catch it. Hauled in beautifully by number 13. That is
Max Martinez.
Martinez, excuse me.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, that was perfect. Holman sat in the pocket for a while, and then when it started to kind of collapse on him, he was like, all right, I'm gonna have to move out. And he started rolling out right, but instead of just tucking and running, he kept his eyes down the field. And as he went right, Martinez adjusted his route along with his quarterback, put himself in a great spot.
Martinez wide right, 2 to the left. Holman has it, spins, gives to Ward. Ward looking for a hole left side. Ward driving inside the 10, down to the 5, and he is knocked down at the 3-yard line. Good hole on the ISO left.
Yep.
Call it 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line, down to 3:20 in the 3rd.
Yep. Ward kind of yelling over for some instruction, like he's expecting to get the ball again.
Same formation, slot right, or I should say wing right. Now they'll motion to trips. Fakes the handoff. Holman keeps himself, cuts back inside. Flag comes in.
Yep.
And he's going to mark him shy of the goal line, and that's a flag in the area of holding.
That's the downside to it is because he's right at the goal line. The next play, they could just quarterback pooch it right in if it was down there. But that hold is going to bring it back, and it's going to have to adjust what Upper Sandusky does here. They'll replay the 2nd down, but still, a little further back you get, sometimes it gets a little more challenging to get it into the end zone.
Hold is the call.
And again, for Upper Sandusky, I mean, there's a lot of time still left in this game, but down 2 scores, and with the way their defense is playing, I think every time they get the ball, they need to try to get points on the board. I just don't have a lot of faith that the defense is going to make the stop that they need.
A lot of turnovers tonight, and last night was the tough one to run an offense. Tonight, it's gorgeous. Perfect conditions. Holman wants to roll, throws out, lobs into the end zone, incomplete, nobody there. I think he wanted Martinez to kind of drift, but he was looking more to the sideline, incomplete.
He was throwing it away at the end, I think, because if you look where he threw the ball, his receivers didn't really have a lot of space. Gavin Fry in the corner maybe a little, but it would have been a really tough throw to make. And I think he realized if I hold into this, I'm going to get a sack. If I throw it anyplace else, there's a possibility of an interception. I'm just going to throw it kind of the back end of the end zone and live to see 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 14 3rd and goal from the 14. Pistol formation, trips to the short side. Looking on the bench route, man open, and he threw it too far in front of the intended receiver. Looking out there for Caleb Francis, and he had him on the bench route or the wheel route, whatever you want to call it. Rolled up the sideline, had his man beat by 2, maybe even 3 steps, but just threw it too far out in front. Needed to drop it right on that pylon.
I got to mention my weekly mention. I mentioned it many times last night. Holman, for as talented as he is, he's got such a good arm that he gets a little too loose. His mechanics were terrible on that throw. He was all arm across the body, just threw it up in the air, and that's the reason he overtrucked them by 5-6 yards.
You got to get your shoulders square, get your butt behind you.
And again, he's got a great arm, so he can do it, but it's going to get some misfires when you do things like that.
2:30 in the 3rd. Holman looks to throw, slant right across the middle, incomplete. Too high for the intended receiver. Looking for Branson. No, that was Francis.
Yep, Caleb Francis. Unfortunately, he's trying to kind of thread a needle between a lot of different white jerseys there. And
he never looked off any defender.
No, and you know what? It becomes in scenarios like that sometimes when you do that, and you see a lot of guys, they're just like, people like Holman, they sometimes will just rely on the arm talent. And it's like, I just have to throw it as hard as I can because I've got a very small window, but then you're becoming a thrower, not a passer, and the ball sails. I mean, Francis is not a tall receiver. You can't throw it up high like that. He's not going to be able to pull it down.
Turnover on downs, gives it back to Northmor. They're going to run it on 1st and 10. Ball deep in their territory and corralled in the backfield. And it was Campbell dropped for a 1-yard loss at the 14.
That was probably the best job of gang tackling I've seen out of Upper in this game. I mean, they were really blockading every running hole, but they at the same time were closing in on him. It wasn't just stand in your spot. It's like keep moving into the backfield and get a hold of that running back.
Low snap given to Campbell. Campbell looking right side, not room there either. Door slammed by the front 7 of Upper Sandusky. Coleman in there on the tackle.
Maybe got 2 or 3, but still now we're going to move to that 3rd down, 7 yards where Upper Sandusky has not had a lot of success getting off the field. They need to here.
Ball deep in Northmor territory at the 17. 90 seconds here in the 3rd. Bauer in the gun, back on his left hip. Going to give to Campbell again. Campbell lowers the shoulder, gets by 1.
Yep.
He gained a few on that play.
When he landed, you'll notice he was sort of on
Still
top
on
of
his feet,
guys.
yeah.
So, he was able to kind of try to get back up and kind of move forward a little bit more. But this was those 3 straight running plays felt more like a burn clock. We've got 2 touchdown lead, and I want to eat some clock away. And I think they were hoping they might be able to get a 1st down on the drive, but didn't happen, and now they'll have to punt it away.
And they can take this play clock all the way down to about 40 seconds left in the 3rd.
Yeah.
Facing 4th and 3.
I mean, I understand what the coach is doing and, trying to get, some of that clock away, but I think they're still a little too early in this game to be working on just say, let's burn the clock. It's 2 touchdowns. You still got a whole quarter in front of them.
Hill back deep, low liner. Or no, that's Fry.
Oh, that's good. That worked out, though.
Yep, and a good Northmor bounce. Hits at the 45, rolls to the 35-yard line.
Yep.
Fry, no chance to return it. And it will be Upper back on the field with a 1st and 10. 24 seconds to go here in the 3rd.
Yeah, it took kind of a one-hopper, but too far in front of Fry that he wasn't able to do anything with it. I want to remind everybody after our game tonight from Upper Sandusky and at Northmor, we'll be choosing our Lewis Family McDonald's Players of the Game. And each one of them is going to get a gift certificate from Lewis Family McDonald's. Those are not only just in Bucyrus where we're at, but also in Gallion and Upper Sandusky. Really convenient for both of these teams. Looking forward to picking somebody from each one of these squads for our reward that's coming up later tonight.
Holman on the field, 1st and 10. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Back behind him in the pistol. Wants to throw on 1st and 10. Stop flag. Fry complete at the 40, and Fry up to the 43-yard line. Simple play. Stop flag, and we have an injured player on this from
He's holding his leg.
Yep.
He's the guy that he kind of got turned around. Like right when Fry made the move, guy slipped and fell, and he reached down for the leg. I think it's a cramp, but still nice 8-yard pickup.
You hope it's a cramp because he was really trying to change direction there.
Yes, he was. Just
And
the way
he won't stretch like it's a cramp.
That's the reason I said it, but I thought the exact same thing.
So we'll take an injury timeout. 11 seconds to go here in the third quarter. You're listening to WQEL 92.7 FM, WQEL.com, and streaming live online on the OH Report.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
That's their kicker, that Schnauer.
Here from Upper Sandusky, it is the Northmor Golden Knights 28 and the Rams 14 in week 1 of high school football. Schroeder up off the field. Looks to be okay. Hopefully we see him back in this ball game. Rams looking at second and short. They're going to turn, give. It is to Hale.
Yep. Got a first.
Got first by about a half a yard.
Something to keep in mind, we just watched, a little injury report. That was Northmore's not only, player who plays offense and defense, but he was their kicker, Caleb Schroeder. And I'm telling you right now,
knee.
You get into it. Yes, I mean, if you got a problem there, that could be an issue if this game gets closer.
End of the third quarter here from Upper. 2-score game, 28-14. Northmor with the lead in week number 1. We'll be back.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
The fourth quarter is going to be a handoff to Hale, far sideline, and again, it's going to get up to the 49-yard line, but we do have a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think
far sideline official.
Going to come back.
Yep.
You know what? Hale was really patient on that run. When he was coming around the outside, he kept kind of just stopping. He was waiting for someplace to cut. He just couldn't find anywhere. And I thought to myself, uh-oh, this is probably not going to get him where he needs to go. And then all of a sudden he turned up the field, and I was like, oh, that was pretty good. He ended up 5-6 yards, but the penalty is going to move him back, and Upper Sandusky is
a hold is what made it happen.
Yep, gonna put him in a tough spot once again. First down and 20. The types of mistakes like this that we see in week 1 are really damaging.
Did we see a single holding call last night?
Yes, we saw one. We saw one.
3 so far tonight. Here's first and 20. 11:54 to go in the ball game. Upper Sandusky with the football, trailing by 2 scores. 2 to the left side for Caden Holman, 2 to the right. Wants to throw it against a 4-man rush. Comes near side, Fry. Fry started out, now cuts back center of the field.
Yep,
Driven out, and that's going to be a
targeting.
face mask. Or targeting,
Yep.
yeah.
They're going to get him on that one.
Fry was stood up, and they came in and delivered a blow that certainly not one that you want to see.
Yep. And they are going to call face mask. But, I wasn't sure because if you notice, there was...
You could hit him for targeting, no doubt on the
reason
right
why
play.
I thought it is. I'm looking at the
No
replay.
doubt.
He was being held by 2 defenders, and a third one came in and really just kind of sort of lowered the boom on him. And I thought, that's going to be a targeting call. But they got him in the face mask. Either way, it's 15 yards additional and the automatic first down.
puts it at the 44-yard line of Northmor, and a big break for the Rams.
Yeah, they needed that.
Trailing by 14, 28-14, 11:42 to go.
After the hold put them at 1st and 20, getting the automatic first and getting into Northmore territory is huge there.
Trips right. Hill, lone receiver near side below us. Holman claps for it, has it at the 50, drops back, good pocket. Now he's going to step up and scramble. Holman, 40, gets across the 40, lowers the shoulder, and he shows that Hill not afraid to get physical. Bringing him down was 21. That's Cowan Becker, but
he's never been shy about, dealing with a little contact. People didn't realize that, we got an injury down, another injury, but people didn't realize that last year, Kitten Holman played the back half of the year, probably the last few games, with a very serious injury. And he, shoulder injury, but he threw, and he continued to lower the shoulder. Again, he's not soft. I mean, he might be talented, but he'll do anything out there for him.
The senior leader will take his team to the sideline as his offensive lineman being attended to out there in the center of the field. So we'll take another injury timeout. 11:16 to go in the fourth quarter. 28-14. Northmor with the lead.
"30 seconds, John, just 30.
Exactly right. All right, a couple weeks probably. Playing that entire game and the teams that have the players. Let's try to go while there's a break in the action. See ya.
Up off the field that's 58. Cale Vince for Upper Sandusky, able to get off the field under his own power. So hopefully we see Cale come back in the game. A very big piece of that offensive front for Upper Sandusky, and done a great job so far protecting Caden Holman tonight.
Yeah, that was another cramping issue, so starting to see it. Again, you always see it early in the season.
Beautiful night for football here in week number 1, however. Both fan bases showing out tonight. Holman has it, wants to throw it. Good, another great pocket. There it up. He's got Hill wide open. Oh, he led him by a step. Had him out there. Ethan Hill blew by his man. Had him one-on-one, and he beat him. But Holman just a little too far.
The pump fake,
a little bit more air under that.
That held the defender up. It just made the defender hesitate for a half a second, and that let Hill. You can't hesitate with Hill. I mean, he will make you pay for it. He's so fast. And Holman, for as much as we've been singing his praises tonight, he has overthrown some intended targets at times, missing some opportunities.
3rd and 4 inside Northmor territory. Holman again with a pocket. He's flushed to the left side. Holman's going to pump. He's got to run. Holman to the 35. He's going to be short of the first down, but
they'll go for it.
It's 4th down territory for sure.
They need a yard, and I got to be honest with you.
Down 2 scores with 11 minutes to go. He's got to go here.
And I think they've got the type of player. Well, I mean, they don't have to, but if you're in Northmor territory at the 35, why not?
Yeah.
They're going to actually run up to the play here and try to do it
Holman's
fast.
going to go under center.
You know what? Go right ahead, straight ahead.
No hard count. He is hit. He is dropped. Is he going to get a forward progress?
No, I don't
know. After the play.
Yep. And actually, Upper Sandusky is looking at
near side official has him marked for the first down. Far side official has him on the other side of the 35.
Holman was the one who got hit late there, too. He's the one with the ball in his hand, got kind of thrown to the ground, and he kind of looked up like, how's that not a penalty? But where it didn't look like he got there unless he somehow reached out a ball and we didn't see it. Officials are kind of talking it over, and they're now pointing it's Northmor ball.
They're going to give it to Northmor, coming up big on the stop on 4th down. And I'll tell you, the near side official gave him the mark.
Yeah.
He gave him the first down. Now they won't bring the chains out.
They're going to look at it. All righty. We'll see here.
Far side official did not.
And this is where, if you're Upper Sandusky, you hope for a little home field advantage. Help us out a little.
You're going to stretch them out.
Northmor,
ball inside the 35.
They don't have it.
They do not. Half a football.
Yep. Northmor, big stop there. Man,
there's a little slack in that chain still.
I agree.
It could be even further than that.
The officials are going to be like, look, we tried. We did what we could, Upper. I'm sorry.
So with 10:52 to go in the ball game, Northmor is going to get it back with a 2-score lead, and this is where the Upper Sandusky Rams defense has really got to step up.
You know what it is? Know what the problem is? All right, look, 73 from Northmor. Vance Johnson, 6'1", 295. Try to push that out of the way. They couldn't do it. He started pushing into the backfield, and when you got 300 pounds in front of you, doing that quarterback sneak is a little hard, you know.
You're pushing against a wall. Bauer back on the field. He's going to give on first down, and wrapped up and dropped for a half-yard loss on the play was Campbell.
Yep.
If you're Northmor, you just need to melt clock. Maybe
And
a first down or two, but you got a 2-score lead, and the clock is in your favor.
I'll be honest with you. I think that these first two plays, they're going to run the ball and they're going to take this clock down. Like, they're going to eat it. Maybe on third down, depending on where they're at, maybe they do a safe pass, kind of, something that they can easily complete or whatever. But they're still they are in clock burning mode. Nope, he's going to throw here.
Into the flats, and a great play by the defender, closing in a hurry. That's Martinez. Max doing a great job. He saw a man released into the flats and closed in a hurry. Incomplete pass makes it 3rd and a long 9.
That's the type of play I expected to see on third down, where it's sort of a short throw, and it took a really great individual effort by a defender to get in there and knock it down. So a little surprising there that they tried to do it early, trying to catch Upper off guard, but didn't happen. And now with 3rd down and 9, we'll see what the Golden Knights decide if they want to go for clock or put it in the air.
Tight end right, 2 to the left. Hard count there by A.J. Bauer. Didn't get him to jump.
And Upper Sandusky was kind of showing blitz up the middle, so Bauer was kind of making a little adjustment, and there's the handoff.
Bauer gives to Campbell. Campbell looking for an opening, gets off one defender, gets over the 40 to the 40, given the 41 and a half yard line, and it'll be 3rd and a short 4.
Yep.
So a big third, no, excuse me, they did not switch it, so it's going to be 4th and 4.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see them go for it. Teams do stranger things. I mean, but
they have a 2-score lead. Why not try and put it away?
But you're in your own territory.
You could also pull a page out of Seneca's playbook, pooch punt.
Or you can just go hard count here, see if you can get them to jump off sides. That's what I'm really expecting right now, is if they can get Upper to jump, that gives them a first down. So
each team with 3 timeouts. Bauer, hard count again, checks the sideline.
And I love the idea of kind of doing this hard count, and then if it doesn't work, you can snap it and go for a pooch punt. But they ended up just using the timeout, and now they'll punt on 4th down, or at least
they didn't even need to burn a timeout. You could have taken the 5 yards and
if you're
punted
just going to punt anyway. If you think your timeouts are valuable, but at this point in time, they just decided, all right, we'll take it and we'll go from here.
Armrose does take the timeout, however. 9:16 to go in the ball game. Northmor 28, Galleon. Goodness, it's still Thursday night.
Yeah, that's all right.
It is Northmor 28, Upper Sandusky 14. We'll be back.
Just
Fry dropping back deep for the punt. They get it away. A spiral kick going to be fielded at the 24-yard line. Fry in some traffic. Able to split them. Gets over the 30, 32. And Fry makes the most out of very little.
Yep.
Upper with the ball back. 9:05 to go here in the ball game. They trail by 2 scores.
And again, remember, with 9:05, there's still plenty of time on the clock. I mean, now, there's going to be a little bit of urgency, but that's not really Upper's problem. Upper's not the type that, kind of lollygags out there anyway.
No, we've seen them hurry up in the first quarter.
Exactly. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. But with 9:05 on the clock, there's no reason to panic, but they do need to get some scores on the board here.
Trips left for Holman. He's in the pistol formation. Damon Ward behind him.
And remember, the Uppers got all their timeouts, too. So
Holman all day to throw. Near side to Fry, and he sailed it.
Yep.
Just rushed it. And then we talked about it last night with Ashton Warren.
Yep.
We've talked about it tonight with Holman. They have such strong arms, but they don't get their shoulders square.
Exactly.
They throw with an open body sometimes, and Holman as a pitcher, he's got to know you got to keep that shoulder square and deliver that. Deliver it just like a pitch.
A lot of really athletic people, this is their problem. They play a little too loose. You see it at every level, high school to college, and even there's pro NFL quarterbacks who that's their problem. They get to the pros, and the mechanics that they didn't have all the way through really catch up to them.
Trips to the right. Holman throws near side. Lone receiver. That is Hill. Hill trying to shake a man. Gets over the 40. Pushed out of bounds by 21 Cowan Becker. But Hill hauls in another catch, and it will set up second and a long 3.
But that was a better job there. If you looked at the way Holman kind of set himself, I knew immediately as he turned, I was like, that's going to be a completion. Like, you can just see it. I mean, again, I hate to harp on mechanics all the time, but it's really that big of a deal.
It's what the coaches are doing.
Yep.
Holman sets. Now he's going to lob out. Ward in the flats, lowers the shoulder. God, he ran about 6 inches off the ground for 3 yards, and he's able to pick up the first down because of that.
Yep. Got low and got under the defenders.
I mean, 5'8", 190. That's a train.
I got to be honest with you. I think that 5'8's a gift. I mean, I'm
5'8". You put me at 190. I don't know that you want to sit in a car with me. First and 10. Holman sends a man in motion, wants to throw. Has a good pocket. Now he's going to step up and scramble. Holman over the 45 to the 47-yard line. And only a 4-man rush for Northmor, but they did a good job keeping it concentrated in the middle. And Holman had already made up his mind that he was going to step up in the middle of that pocket. Only able to get 4 there. Made the most out of it, but we now have another injured player down.
Yep, another cramp situation for Northmor. 56.
Yeah, Northmor, that is Ryan Lowry.
New name, but Lowry at 240 pounds in the middle of that defensive line. Those players like that are very valuable. When you take them out, a lot of them, you might even have size. You might have somebody else who might be the same size, but they're the same talent, And right now, Northmore's defensive line has played really well tonight. And, if they keep having guys gimpy off to the side because of cramps, that could end up costing them. It could be dangerous.
Clock down to 8:21.
And again, for Upper Sandusky, remember, if they can get points on the board here, if they can score a touchdown, and there's still even 4 minutes left, they've got 3 timeouts. So the defense just has to come through at that point in time. I mean, which again, it's a big ask considering what we've seen. But if they can do it, they can get the ball back in plenty of time to score again.
And certainly the efficiency and the high-powered offense that they need to do such a thing.
Yes, absolutely. Getting a closer look at Damon Ward, I called him Baker Mayfield earlier. I'd like to mix that with Gardner Minshew. If I can put the two of them together.
Hey, those are two exquisite personalities.
No. Hey,
that's a compliment.
It's a compliment. I mean,
Quads left. Fry, lone receiver to the right side. Holman alone in the gun. 2nd and 6. Wants to throw it. 4-man rush. Up in the pocket. Holman. And there's a flag. Holman still looking to throw. Delivers the pass. It's complete. That is good enough for a first down to Fry, but
bring it back.
Yep. Or excuse me, that was not Fry. That's Hill.
Yep. And I love the receivers. These guys have been playing for a long time, and you can see their awareness. They see Holman start running, and they start coming back to the ball. Like they break away, they give him some space. But unfortunately, the moment that pocket started to collapse, and Holman went to go to run, lineman made the grab, and they're going to push it back again.
So it'll be 2nd and 16 from the spot of the foul. 7:44 to go, and Upper still trailing by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. Davy Jones back at station control, getting set for another edition of the Friday Night Phone Board. Well, I guess the first edition of this season. Hill in motion. Holman flush from the pocket, rolling right side, keeps his head downfield. Now he's going to tuck and go. Back over the original line of scrimmage.
That's a good play, though.
Yeah, got about 10 on that.
Yep.
It's going to be 3rd, and we'll see where he exactly skipped out of bounds. I would say 3rd and about 7.
Because his receivers all went pretty deep on that play. So there wasn't a lot of options for him. I mean, he didn't have an outlet receiver or anything like that on that side of the field. Once he got flushed from the pocket, he looked down. He's like, my receivers are all covered by white jerseys. And he didn't jog out. He tucked and sprinted, got every bit of the 9 yards that he could.
We'll see what he can come up with here. 3rd and 7, trips to the left, wants to throw again against a 4-man rush. And again, he's flushed, and he's going to get dropped in the pocket. He tried to vacate from the left side. He is brought down for the sack on the play. It is Ashton Clark, 6-foot junior, getting back there, and his first sack of the night.
And they're going to have to go for it here. Down 2 scores with 7 minutes left on the clock. Not ideal at 4, when you got 4th and 11 and you're in your own territory. But Uppers, they're out of options here. And that's
what turnovers will do to you. And they killed him in the first half.
And I'm going to tell you what's really hurt. This defensive line from Northmor has really beat up on the offensive line for Upper.
It's just been a 4-man rush.
But they're doing such a good job.
Here's 4th and 11. Holman, low snap, able to grab it. And he's sacked in the backfield.
That time from the other side. They get a speed rush from the back end. The previous one, it was the defensive end from the right side. That time, left side coming in. Cameron Goldbach coming in, 170-pound on the linebacker position. Speed rushed right around the outside linebacker for the sack.
Just blew by him with a beautiful spin move underneath and able to bury him in the backfield, and Northmor is going to get it back and a chance to put this thing away with 6:33, and they are deep in Upper territory.
Yeah, a big offensive lineman over there, but he's a freshman, and he just didn't get the feet moved on time. They were kind of stuck in cement, and when you get a speed rusher, it's hard to block those guys.
This isn't Thursday night or Tuesday night football anymore. This is Friday Night Lights, young man. 1st and 10. Here's Northmor and A.J. Bauer back on the field. One to the right, one to the left. He's got 2 in the backfield on either hip. He is going to hand off. Moving left side this time is number 4, Paul Kramer. Ball loose.
Upper got it.
The official comes in, and he's going to start Upper football.
Yep. Ball came out at the last minute. I wasn't even sure if he was down. Maybe he was already down, but that ball hit the ground, and a great job right there by Damon Ward jumping on top of this. Again, little off tackle run by Kramer, and the ball. Somebody just got a helmet
out on the football.
Yep, knocked it loose, and a big fumble right there keeps Upper Sandusky's hopes alive. Time's working against them here with only 6:26, but because that happened on 1st down, they didn't have to burn any timeouts.
Exactly.
So now you just got to get some. You got to get some points, and you got to get them faster now. Now the urgency is there because they're going to need 2 possessions here. So
protection is key for Caden Holman on this drive. We'll see if Northmor now will put the pressure on a little bit heavier. Showing a 4-man rush. That's all they bring. Holman again flushed, and he's hit again and dropped. Caden Holman back inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. And once again, it's number 11, Ashton Clark.
Yep.
Clark with 2 sacks in the last 3 plays.
I'll tell you right now, they're just killing them on the edges. The 2 defensive ends are coming in. They feel the need to double team the interior linemen of Northmor because they're so big. That it's leaving single on the outside.
Your tackles have got to have the best feet.
And they're just getting pushed off the ball.
And the stand-up ends by Northmor is, that's making it a lot harder on those tackles. Here's Holman rolling, across his body, looking in the center of the field, incomplete for 23. That was Ethan Hill, and Hill was open.
Yep. Well, and unfortunately,
Holman, it seems to show, he's getting a little flustered, it almost shows.
Well, you could see there, he's rolling out to his right, he's throwing across his body, or he's rolling out to his left, and he's throwing across his body, and he kind of threw it. If you ever watch, he's a great baseball player, but if you watch a shortstop trying to make a double play and they try to do the sidearm, like they almost kind of a hop and sidearm throw, that's what it looked like. And
until you get paid to play.
But it was nowhere near him, so it didn't work so well in football.
Here's 3rd and 14, 5:45 to go. Holman calls for it, has it, rolling left, picks up a block, still on his feet, lets it fly. It's complete, but well short of the first down, back to the original line of scrimmage. It is Gavin Fry hauling it in.
Yep. And again, not a lot there, but he's rolling across his body once again. trying to, find a space. But you notice what they're doing is they're purposefully getting Holman out of the pocket now. They've lost faith in their offensive line as well. So they're like, we just got to get him out. But, but unfortunately he's going kind of the wrong way, because that was where the wide side of the field was. Now we can roll out right if they decide they want to.
Here's 4th and 9. Holman, again, off his back foot, lob center of the field. Pass is caught, dropped it right into the hands of Gavin Fry in a foot race, and he was into the end zone, touchdown. Unbelievable. Flag late.
62 yards, dropped right over the top. They just put Fry on the deep route. They said, we're just going to go for it all right now. Forget it. And Gavin Fry has got his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Holman delivers a strike over the center of the field. The safety was trailing on the play, Bryson Kearns, and Fry just able to haul it in and beat him to the end zone. Touchdown. And 28-20.
Once again, it's coaches yelling, don't let him get behind you. Just don't let him get behind you. And I was going to say the play before that, Northmore's done such a great job of not letting guys get behind him. Uppers had to take the dink and dunks underneath. Right there, Fry, take the ball deep, take the top off the defense. And a little penalty at the end of the play on Northmor. They're going to go over and talk things over with Coach Hall. And you know what? He's in an argument with his offensive coordinator right now. They're kind of jokingly pushing and shoving at each other, saying, you know what, do we want to go for this and go for 2 here? I think the offensive coordinator wanted to, but Coach Hall was like, no, let's just take the extra, let's do our standard extra point here. But there's still 5 minutes left in this game, 4:54, and they got all their timeouts. So Ward will hold. Ethan Hill will kick. Trying to make it a 7-point ball game with 4:54 to go here in week 1 of Friday Night Lights. Ward steps it off. Snap back, hold down, and I guess it's blown dead. That was awkward. So they'll regroup. No flags flew. I don't know who really wasn't set. Northmor showing that they're coming after this. Hill gets it up, and it is good. Ethan Hill makes it 21-28. Upper still trailing by 7, but we got ourselves a ball game. 4:54 to go. Northmor with the football, and we come back.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you tonight on WQEL 92.7 FM and streaming live online on the OH Report. So following the 15-yard penalty on the touchdown, Upper Sandusky is going to kick off from the Northmor 45. And
that's
Jeff,
big. That's
why not onside kick?
That's a huge, huge setup right there because, obviously, look, there's 4:54 on the clock. There's plenty of time that if they can get some a stop defensively. They got 3 timeouts. They can get the ball back. And things are up in the air. And because they don't have a strong leg kicker, this kind of opens up some options here.
Ward approaches.
There it is.
Sends a bouncer. Fumbled right away. And they're going to cover it up.
Yeah, I think Northmor got it, though.
The Golden Knights able to get on top of that football. But Ward gave him a chance.
Yep.
It'll be 1st and 10, Golden Knights with 4:53 to go. They have a 7-point advantage, and it will be from the 27-yard line.
Yeah, the onside kicks are super tricky because if you kick it really hard, and he kind of did there, even though you're kicking it on the ground, your only real chance on a recovery is that it bounces straight off of a guy and back in the other direction.
Yep.
But if it just goes off an arm, it'll usually just kind of careen, keep going backward, and it usually, because it's kicked so hard, will go back too far where that you can't recover it.
You call that group of guys the hands team for a reason.
Exactly. Just
and a low
up the
snap,
middle.
corralled and handed off to, that's 4.
Kramer.
It's Kramer, yes. So Paul, the 5'10", 180-pound senior with another carry.
And actually,
able to get 4.
Coach Hall is not calling a timeout now. With 4:30 on the clock, I think he's kind of hoping that maybe his team can figure it out. And I think it probably doesn't help that on first down they just picked up 4.5 yards. He's probably like, maybe I just wait and, if they get a first down, then I'll start thinking about it on the next set. But I think he's looking at it going, I still got time, and I don't want to burn through all my timeouts right now and then have him get a first down.
Split backs.
They got him in the backfield that time.
Counter, and he's driven for a loss on the play. Loss of 6.
That's big.
Upper was showing heat off the edge on the 5-man front, and they blew that play up, and there's the timeout, Upper Sandusky.
And that time they do take a timeout. The loss of yardage there makes it big because it's third down, probably about 7.5 yards now. So
they're going to give him forward progress on that play, which is big.
Yep.
So like you said, it'll be third and about 7. 3:59 to go. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. WQEL. It's week 1 of high school football here in North Central Ohio. The Burkhardt Farm Center game of the week. Here's Northmor facing third and long. Bauer steps up, airs it out, one-on-one coverage. They were tied up in a hand fight at about the 50-yard line. No call, and a good no call at that. I think neither one really knew where that ball was going, and that's going to force a punt. Big-time play by the Upper Sandusky defense.
Yeah, that second down stop was massive. And right there, that's just man coverage down the field. And Bauer was just hoping that he can, extend his receiver deep and just throw it up to him. But he overthrew the play a little bit too much, and now Northmore's going to have to punt. And Upper's got plenty of time on the clock and still 2 timeouts. So, they can do a lot of things with this ball.
Here's the punt. It's going to hit at the 46, roll down to the 41-yard line, and Upper Sandusky is going to have great field position to start this drive, trailing by 7 with 3:43 to go. It's week number 1, and last night and tonight, you couldn't ask for a better opening weekend of high school football here in North Central Ohio. We'll be right back on WQEL and the OH Report.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Yeah, it's the comeback. Are you ready for the comeback?
Rams on offense. Screenplay. Oh, Ward couldn't handle the pass. It's going to be incomplete. They had it set up beautifully. He had a blocker out in front of 2 offensive linemen and Ethan Hill out there, and Hill's a great blocking receiver.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Holman had bodies coming at him in his face. He tried to set up a screen, it's expected, but they were coming at him fast, and he ended up kind of throwing the ball a little too low. If he gets that on the spot, there's some lead blockers out in front. Ward maybe gets a pretty good gain there on first down.
Doubles formation on 2nd and 10. 4-man front. Just a 6-man box for Northmor. They're dropping away right away. Sealer, pick 6. Off to the races, Hunter Falk.
He overthrew his receiver, and Falk coming up on the backside. He was just coming up to make a defensive play. Standard, I'm going to come up, I'm going to tackle this guy who's about to catch the ball.
Falk might be hurt now on the celebration.
I think he's holding his, hopefully it's just a cramp, but I mean, that is, we're seeing a replay from earlier on a big stop by Upper, but the interception there, Falk's just coming up to to make a
simple
stop. He's going to make a stop, but Holman overthrows his receiver.
Tip pass right into his hands.
And it ends up popping right into his hands. And unfortunately, when you throw short routes like that, if a defender can jump it or it gets overthrown and he's right there and he's running up, nobody's going to catch him because he's got full speed going in the other direction.
Huge play by the Golden Knights. Back up 2 scores, 34-21.
Yep, I'll tell you what, this was it's been a fun game of back and forth, but, again, it's the type of thing I said it, last year, the upper coaches felt early in the season they let a lot of games go. I have a feeling when I talk to them again, they're going to feel like this game got away from them too.
Extra point attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Schroeder just drills that one, makes it 35-21. 3:28 to go in the ballgame, and Upper Sandusky still with time on the clock. They do still have 2 touchdowns, but the clock going against them. We'll be right back on WQEL and the OH Report.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Touchdown game here from Upper Sandusky. The Golden Knights coming into town, and they're showing up, or they are not scared of Big Brother at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Northmor, the K-Mac. Upper, the N10. They're going to squib it, and it is covered by the up man.
Interesting choice.
Nice job by the front line of Upper Sandusky. That was number 11, Chase Teal, I think it's Teal.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of interesting because with 3:27 left on the clock, Upper Sandusky's down 2 scores. I get that those guys up front probably aren't ready for that, and you're hoping to maybe sneak one by, and then you wrap this thing up. But Upper Sandusky just proved they can score. They still got 2 timeouts.
One of the best quarterbacks in the area.
I wouldn't want to shorten the field.
Right.
That kicker has got a leg. He's been able to kick it pretty deep, but now you just kind of gave him 25 yards that they don't have to go. So interesting call.
Well, Holman back on the field, looking at trips to the left side. He's going to throw it against a 4-man front. Steps up again. He's flushed to the right side. Crosses the line of scrimmage. He's got to scramble, and he's able to get 7. Holman knocked down over there by 56, Ryan Lowry. In Northmor, there's typically a smaller school, but they have a massive roster.
Oh, yeah. I had to print it on large paper here. That's, it's like, where are all these kids coming from? Apparently everybody likes to play football there, which is good for the program.
Good for Coach Scott Armrose and the Northmor Golden Knights. They showing out nicely here on the road, and they got Holman again. He is thrown down. He's got a gain on that play of about a yard, but he was hit in the backfield. And it's going to be 3rd and 3.
I got to be honest with you. Both of these are so big for for Northmor because both times when Holman ran, they tackled him in bounds. They just had to burn a timeout. Upper Sandusky. They did not want to burn a timeout on offense.
Northmor's front 4 is just killing Upper Sandusky's front 5.
That's really all this game has come down to. Upper, we knew coming into this game they got talent. We knew it. The question is whether or not they could fill in some of the things that they lost. You got a couple of players here and there. You gotta fill this hole, fill that hole. Can this guy improve? Whatever. And quite honestly, the biggest thing that we're looking at here, that we're noticing, is the fact that up front, Holman's been running around a lot. And when he does run around, as much as he's very comfortable in the pocket, more so than most high school quarterbacks, when he's running around, that's when the mechanics sort of kind of end up going away, or when he gets pressure.
frantic.
But that is typical of even the best quarterbacks on earth, not just high school quarterbacks, at every level. That's the whole idea of the reason why every team in America wants to get, if I can get pressure with 4 guys, I'm going to win most games. And that's what Northmore's doing tonight.
Big 3rd and 3 here for the Upper Rams. Another 4-man rush. Lets it fly, and in front and out in front of the outstretched arms of the intended receiver. That was Caleb Francis running a crossing route, and now it's 4th and 3. And that's just 4-man rush, and Holman had no time. You got to give so much credit to not only the front 4, but the secondary.
Well, I'll tell you right now, as long as they've continued this whole game, like I said, they're double teaming interior, and Ashton Clark's coming around on the outside being single cover, in a single block, and he's just pushing the tackle back into him on almost every play. If it's not him, it's coming on the other side. I mean, and there he comes again, full pressure. But there's
again. Oh, it's picked up again. He's going to go to the house.
Is that Falk again?
See you later.
Yep.
Number 2, Hunter Falk just picked off another stop route from Caden Holman and races 58 yards for the house for another touchdown.
Yep, and that right there, my friends,
that'll put it away. If an incomplete pass didn't put it away, that did.
That one did. I mean, there's no way you can come back from that. And again, you know what? Falk just started jumping on routes here at the end, and he made Upper Sandusky pay big on both of them.
2 straight possessions with pick sixes for the Northmor defense, and they now lead it 41-21 with 2:34 to go. Extra point pending.
So it's been a fun game, and it was pretty close. In the end, it's not going to look real pretty because of these last couple of scores. But I'm telling you, these have been pretty impressive plays right here. And the Golden Knights are going to have a fun drive going back to Northmor because they're going to have a lot to look at and say, this worked out all right. This is a
straight
fun game.
down 30 is not a fun drive, but after you go beat up on somebody on a Friday night, that's a pretty fun bus ride home. 42-21 following the Schroeder extra point. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
The comeback. Are you ready for the comeback?
Live online all over the world on the OH Report. 42-21 Northmor, back-to-back pick sixes by Falk, and he's put this game away single-handedly.
No doubt about it. I mean, 2 big plays like that, it's amazing how fast a game that was competitive, and we felt like, hey, this isn't over yet, I mean, and now all of a sudden it's like, all right, 2:34 left, and Upper's they're not going to mail it in, but the reality is I think they even know this is it.
A little bit too late. Fielded up the far sideline.
Fry.
Here comes Gavin Fry, and Fry knocked out of bounds short of the 30. Clock at 2:27. And Holman, that's his persona as a football player. You know that he's got a big arm. He's going to take shots down the field. But those are 2 passes that he's got to hit. He can't sail those.
Well, and unfortunately, that is going to be the thing that they'll look at on film this week, and they're going to say, okay, Ken, you threw 40 passes, and as of right now, he completed half of them. And they need him to have a completion percentage over 50% this year.
60.
You want him to get him 60. I mean, at the highest levels, they go for more than that these days. But if he can get to 60, they'll be all right. But at 50, it's not good.
Ward hitting the backfield, trying to make something, and maybe a gain of a half a yard.
Well,
Lying down to their final timeout, they won't take it. Clock winding down to 2:10.
I sometimes appreciate coaches who just kind of say, all right, we get where we're at right now. And, you don't want to mail it in, but at the same time, at this point, you don't want to get guys hurt either. This has been a long, tough game, and guys are getting tired, and you're looking at it going, all right, it'll get chippy if we, try to go out there and do too much. So maybe we try to throw a pass, but we could potentially run it out a little bit. Safety pass right there.
Connects to Hill. Hill near side over the 35. Flag comes in.
Yep.
And I want to say that's probably going to be a hold on one of the receivers.
Yep, that's what I'm guessing too. Yep, and there it is. Hold on Upper, so we'll bring that back.
I think they're going to get Caleb Francis.
Again, but for Upper Sandusky, just talking about that, when they're going to look back on this film and they're going to say, look, Caden, you had 200 at this point in time he's 214 yards passing, okay? But he's thrown 40 passes to get it. And, he had 3 touchdowns, but he's got 2 picks now in there. And they're going to look at it and they're going to say, out of the 40 passes, that 20 fell incomplete, here's 10 passes that were there, and you missed them.
Yep, no doubt.
That unfortunately, here's some plays that you made that were incredible, and here's some plays that you just left on the field. And we can't win games with you. When you're our best player, you can't be the one making mistakes all the time.
And you hope that's just week 1 jitters.
Yes!
You hope you can get in the film room and break it down and nitpick a little bit and say, hey, you didn't get your shoulder square here, or you released too high here. You got to fine-tune those things, and hopefully you can nip it in the butt in these first 3 weeks of these non-conference games and get it tuned in by conference time. But this is a game Upper is going to look back on and be like, man, we really we had the talent to compete, and we had the chances, but we made too many mistakes and too many lackadaisical plays.
2 runs right there by Hale makes it now 3rd down and 2 or whatever. I just said something about injury, and Hale's he's now very slow getting up after that tackle. But that's what we're talking about. I mean, it's like, look, please understand, there's no piece of me that's sitting here right now, Josh, as we're talking about this, that as much as I'm being being a little tough on Holman for missing some throws tonight and stuff like that. Believe me, I'm going to walk away from here, and if somebody says to me, like, what do you think about Upper? I'm going to still tell everybody their quarterback's amazing.
Like, they still got skill guys.
They got guys. Like, they've got players out there. They didn't put it together in week 1, but they certainly can over these next couple of games. And it's good to see Hale's popping up right now. He's kind of a little ginger on the leg there, but that's the type of stuff that we worry about at the end of a game. Is don't want to see anybody get hurt. Good to see that he's all right. But I just do think that that's the type of stuff that as we're looking at Upper Sandusky, and again, this is a normal problem that you get out of a lot of teams and a lot of really great players. When you get a player, especially quarterbacks, who are really highly athletic, sometimes getting them to play mechanically is a struggle. It's hard because they can do it without always being mechanical.
Exactly. Rely heavily on athleticism, and you got to fine-tune your skills, perfect them.
And a 4th down run, and that's new back there.
Yep, number 11, Chase Teal.
And I don't think he got the 1st down, though. It was a 4th down.
And not. So that will stop the clock at 38 seconds. Of course, Davy Jones waiting patiently back at station control, getting set for the first edition of the Friday night phone board of the season. Davy Jones back for, I believe, Jeff, correct me, 43rd or 44th year?
I lost track after year 7.
You've been around since then.
No, that's sad.
But Davy's looking for all the calls from around the area. Everybody on the gridiron tonight, except maybe if you're St. Joe. But they're probably waiting to play tomorrow night. But everybody around the MOAC, the N10, the KMAC, all on the gridiron tonight. Give Davey a call, looking for scores from around the area, anything you want to talk about in the wide world of sports. The Guardians had a doubleheader today, currently playing right now against the Detroit Tigers, as well as you got Browns football opening up here in a few weeks, Buckeye football as well. And there's a knee by quarterback A.J. Bauer. Clock winding from 25 and on down. 42-21 is your score. And I don't think they're going to have to snap it again. They don't. So that's going to be the final here from Upper Sandusky. Northmor comes to town and takes care of the Upper Sandusky Rams. They get their first win of the season. 42-21 on the road. It's Northmor over Upper. Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you tonight. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the Ken Standing Team post-game show right after this.
Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Back here on WQEL 92.7 FM and WQEL.com. Also streaming live online all over the world on the OH Report. It's the Ken Standing Seam postgame show now on WQEL and the OH Report. Brought to you by our friends Ken and Matt Studer at Ken Standing Seam. Phone Matt today at 419-544-6275. That's Matt Studer at 419-544-6275. And trust me, if you need a new roof, you don't want to worry about it again. Another 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Don't think about it. Don't go with those shingles that you know are going to go bad. Go with the roof that's going to last a lifetime and beyond. That's Ken and Matt Studer at Ken's Standing Seam. The last roof you will ever need, no matter what the building. That's Matt and Ken Studer at Ken's Standing Seam. Final score here tonight from Upper Sandusky in a non-conference matchup. 42-21. Northmor runs away with it late. 2 final minute pick sixes by Falk. Able to put the game away, and it was close throughout. That first possession of the game, though, for Upper Sandusky, they turned it over, gave it right to Northmor in that opening kickoff. That almost set the tone. Yeah. That gave Northmor the confidence they needed, gave them a little bit of a cushion that maybe Coach Armros could expand his playbook a little bit, gave him a little bit more confidence in what his guys could do. But, man, that defense really stepped up for the Golden Knights tonight against what they knew was a high-powered offense. Everybody in the area knows how good Caden Holman can be, how good these skill guys can be. And those defensive linemen, the whole defensive side of the ball for Northmor really stepped up tonight.
Oh, there's no question about it, because as we're looking at our final post-game stats with the OH Report, the big number that's going to stand out is 5 turnovers on Upper Sandusky. Now, sure, 2 of them came on kick returns, but still at the end, the 2 interceptions right there by Hunter Falk, that seals the game, and ultimately that leads us to our Lewis Family McDonald's players of the game. Hunter Falk, we came into the game being the top receiver for this team. Expected to see a lot of him on the offensive side. He only caught a couple of passes there, but the defensive side, he sealed it at the end. And we were already thinking, maybe we're going to think defense with a player here. Obviously, we're looking at a lot of those defensive linemen. But then, he hits those 2 interceptions, both of them return, seals the game, and that does it. But, for Upper Sandusky, they're going to look at it and say, oh, my gosh, we turned the ball over 5 times. How do you expect you to win any games if you're doing that? It's just not going to happen. So, again, we'll take that moment right now to congratulate Hunter Folk from Northmor being our Lewis Family McDonald's player of the game. And we'll also hit up Upper Sandusky's Gavin Fry, the wide receiver, caught not only 9 passes but 3 touchdowns tonight. Pretty good for the first game of the season. Both Gavin and Hunter will receive a gift certificate from the Lewis Family McDonald's all over North Central Ohio for their compliments and compliments for their great job. And we thank them for their hard work. We thank McDonald's for taking part in that. But I'm going to tell you right now, those type of plays mean a huge difference in this one. Ultimately, it comes down to sometimes when you got 2 really good offensive teams, who's the ones that making more mistakes? And tonight it was Upper Sandusky.
Exactly right. And you can look at the individual performers, you can look at the individual numbers, but this game was won and lost in the box.
Yes.
Those front 4, typically it's the front 7 on either side of the ball, but I think tonight you could really narrow it down to the front 4 on both sides of the ball. Gallion got no pressure on A.J. Bauer. Upper Sandusky was, and Caden Holman was flushed constantly from the pocket by the front 4 of Northmor, and just hats off defensively. Coach Scott Armros and his squad had their boys ready to go. They knew how they wanted to attack this defense. Say, we're not going to get beat deep.
Yep.
You're going to have to beat us some other way.
Absolutely, and they were able to do just that. Let's take a look at the individual stats here as we're seeing that Hunter Folk's going to come over. If you would like to hear that interview, that'll be coming up here a little bit on the OH report. But as we look at the individual numbers, let's start with Upper Sandusky, where they had numbers. I mean, there's no question about it. Caden Holman, 19 carries, 90 yards on the ground. It's Noah Hale, 8 carries for 40 yards. Damon Ward, 11 carries, 38 yards. It was Gavin Fry, a carry for 5. Chase Steele, a carry for 1 yard. So they had 40 carries for 174 yards on the ground. Holman throwing the football, 20 of 40, 214. Throws 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Gavin Fry, 9 catches, 110 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ethan Hill, 7 catches, 65 yards. Max Martinez, 2 catches for 35. Damon Ward, 2 catches for 3 yards. 388 yards of total offense for Upper Sandusky in the game. So again, the numbers were there for the Rams. That was not the issue. Northmor, though, they got the stops when they needed it. They got the interceptions when they needed it. They did those types of things. For them on offense, they got a lot of their big plays in the first half. A couple of long throws, things like that made a huge difference. On the ground, led by Carson Campbell, 12 carries, 48 yards. It was 15 yards apiece for both Cohen Becker and Caleb Schnur, both on 2 carries. Paul Kramer, 6 carries, 7 yards, a touchdown for him. So Campbell and Kramer with the 2 touchdown runs. A.J. Bauer, the quarterback, 6 carries, -4 yards. 28 carries, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. A.J. Bauer throwing the football goes 10 of 16 for 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, threw a pick in there as well. But listen to these numbers on the receivers. And again, a lot of this was in the first half. It was Cohen Becker, 2 catches, 105 yards and a touchdown. Jackson Wegner, 4 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Paul Kramer, a catch for 44 yards. Hunter Folk, 2 catches for 17 yards. Carson Campbell, a catch for -1 yard. So as a team, Northmor ends up with 337 yards. In the end, Upper Sandusky outgained them, but when you get 5 turnovers compared to 2, it ends up being a score bass. And exactly, and 2 of them getting taken back to the house. That makes all the difference in the world. So big way to start the season for Northmor. They get on the road, they pick up a victory.
Yeah.
Having Frito Lay variety packs is a lot like having kids. You get a lot of flavor packed into small packages, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. Whoa! Yeah, definitely impossible to pick a favorite.
Frito Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
we are back with our Morrow County Hospital MVP, Hunter Folk. He had 2 back-to-back pick sixes, and what was really a needed time. What was going through your head while that was happening?
They came down and scored, made it 28-21. We knew that we couldn't back down, and we knew our defense needed to step it up.
So you get that first one, you're kind of at ease a little bit, but when the second one hits and you're just sprinting down the field, what's going through your mind?
The first one, actually, I bobbled it. I actually thought I was going to lose it. Second one, caught it, and then once I scored and got to the sideline, some teammates told me that they didn't even chase me down.
You're right. You guys had an all-around great game, offensively, defensively, through the air. It was fantastic. After that original, they kicked it down, you guys got that turnover. How are you guys feeling as a team? What was the mood on the sideline, that sort of thing?
That was a big boost for us. The 2 special team turnovers really got momentum for us.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Is there any other thing you want to say? Anyone you want to shout out?
Shout out to the whole team.
That's awesome. Thank you for coming out tonight and doing what you did. It was fantastic. We are done. Thank you to our sponsors and from everyone at the OH Report. Thank you for tuning in live and free, and good night.